Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 5 of the podcast. We're still here. We're still we're still doing it. We're not gonna stop.
We are not going to stop.
We're gonna be the longest running podcast someday. We're gonna have like 5 million episodes every
We're
week.
gonna be we're gonna be 95 years old still recording this.
I had a yeah. Let's make a blood oath to just never stop doing the podcast for the rest of our life.
Even when we're senile, we
Yeah.
don't remember each other. We're just like, who are
We'll
you?
we'll hire someone to like make us remember to record the pod, or they'll just record it for us, and we'll follow suit. Hold on,
Oh,
actually, I got to
so
plug in my
mean.
earbuds. I forgot to do that so we wouldn't get any echo.
Gosh diddly darn it.
Shit
What
up.
the heck?
Shut your hecking mouth, bro, before I send the puppers after you. That's it. I'm going beast mode.
I'm gonna say the F word.
Don't say it. We can't have a gamer moment on the podcast.
Can't be like Chris Sabat.
We're not famous enough to even like benefit from it to where like a lot of
No.
people would even see it. It would just be us being like jackasses for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, wow, okay. It's not even like you'd benefit from the controversy because there wouldn't even be
No.
any. It'd just be like, oh, okay. And they just wouldn't care.
Nope, not at all.
No, that's not a reason that we're gonna do it anyway, but okay. We should move off this topic.
Yeah. Gamer news. Pokemon Masters came out yesterday.
Yeah, I've been playing it actually. I've been playing it a lot. I've already got like 2
Pokemon
badges.
Waifu Roulette.
I got waifu gacha, waifu vending machine. It's more like a slot
is there,
machine
like,
actually.
Is there like an end to it? Is there like
I don't know. There's like a story which I'm going through right now, and I assume there's an end to the story, but I don't really know what you do after that. Probably just like the missions or the trials or whatever there are. There are like some side events or whatever, and I assume they're probably gonna roll out like either more story or like more events to like keep people playing
Yeah.
because like
'Cause,
it'd be
like,
kind of
Cynthia
boring
isn't
if you
in the
would just
game.
yeah. Obviously, they're gonna add more girls. Like that's a that's a no brainer. They're probably gonna add like characters from Sword and Shield after they come out. Like I don't know about Sonya. I don't know if she's gonna be like a battler, but they're definitely gonna add like Nessa and Marnie and like stuff like that.
when are they gonna add Bruno?
Dude, you're like right in my ear. They already did add
No.
Bruno. I got Bruno.
Wait, they did?
Yeah, I did a
I'm
10
trying to
roll
think
today.
he was just the first buff Pokemon male character I could think of.
I saved up for a 10 pull and I got Bruno. I got Tate twice. I was hoping to get Tate and Liza after I got Tate, but I just got 2 Tates. Two
I feel like a
Patates.
fucking idiot. Like, I did not realize Tate was a boy until like a few years ago.
I thought Tate was like Nate, so I assumed he was a boy. But like, what is Tate short for? Tathan?
I think Tate is just a name.
Is it? I've never heard it before outside of Pokemon.
like-
Pokemon taught me a lot of words, but it also taught me a lot of like made up names.
It's a Norse name. It means cheerful.
Okay. They're both twins though.
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking about today? The scene in the
What?
anime where like they fight Tate and Liza and Pikachu does the gold thing and then that's how he wins somehow. Like they just retconned that.
Wait, what happens?
You don't
I never
remember
s-
the anime episode
never-
where Ash fights Tate and Liza? It's a double battle and he has Pikachu and Swellow and he has like Pikachu electrocute Swellow in like a certain way and then they both turn like gold and then that's how they win because they're gold
What the
or something.
fuck?
I don't know.
I don't
Like-
know about this.
Like in Smash Bros or something when you turn gold and like your moves get stronger. I don't fucking know. It's so
That's
weird.
weird.
They totally just retconned it. They're like Ash should not be able to win this like by any means. It was like the same thing with like Brock with the sprinklers where you
Yeah,
set off
with
the sprinklers. Like they just had to come up with a way for Ash to win. And they're just like, oh, the he turns him like gold. I'm like, no, you should have freaking killed your own Swellow.
You know what they could have done with? You know what they should have done with Brock? They should have like had Ash like experiment with catching other Pokemon.
Yeah,
Like after
and,
he
like-
loses, he goes out and like, he looks out. Oh look, Mankey's in this area. Oh,
Yeah.
Nidoran's in this area. Everyone's fighting moves. It should.
That would have been neat. It would have
it
been
would've
neat
been
if he
in the,
kept going in with like wrong Pokemon. Like he goes in with like a Caterpie or a Weedle or something, and he still
Yeah.
just dies.
Yeah,
That would
when
have
he
been a
finally
good way of like teaching people about the type
the
advantages
type
in the game.
matchups.
Yeah, instead of
And
just
when
being like, you can win if you do something else.
when Ash finally shows up with a fighting type, Brock's trying like, you again, go away.
It would have been more true to the games if he did that glitch and he got like a level 100 Nidoking. If he just like
No,
went
you can only
to
get that with the. Can you get that before Brock?
yeah, that was the whole thing. Is like you get it
Ah,
in Viridian City because you essentially do like the Mew glitch, except instead of getting Mew, you get like a Nidoking, and then
that's level 1.
yeah, and then as soon as it gains any experience,
Yeah, I
it
remember
gets to
this.
level 100. That's basically how you do. So like that would have been hilarious if that actually.
Just forget Ash running over everything with Pikachu. He just runs over everything with his Nidoking.
Yeah.
That'd be
Dude,
awesome.
I want to replay like Fire Red or Leaf Green and use like a total badass team, like Charizard and like Gyarados and Nidoking
Yeah.
and like Rhyhorn or Rhydon.
Okay. There is some news that needs to be discussed.
Oh no, did I
Fucking
miss something?
Reggie is going to be a university professor
Oh
now.
yeah, I saw you talking about that.
That's so sick.
Reggie,
I wanna
what's
go to-
our homework? It's like translate Mother 3. If he was teaching like
God.
Japanese or something, it'd be like, all
I
right,
think he's
translate the
teaching
game.
like business and statistics and stuff
That's
like
pretty
that.
cool. Even if it was a
Dude.
class I didn't like, I would take Reggie's class.
Yeah, dude, I wish Reggie taught in my class. I get a fucking selfie of Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Yeah,
look
every
at
day.
Look at my professor.
You could do it every day.
I took a photo of Reggie Fils-Aimé for 365 days.
Yeah, you do one of those things, you know, those projects people do where like they record a video on their phone like 1 second every day, and then at the end of the year they like add them all up together and it's like 5 minutes of like
Yeah.
random selfies or like shit going on.
And you can just see Reggie's face getting more and more tired of me taking photos with him.
Yeah, he gets like bags under his eyes.
Yeah, he's just like, fuck off.
Yeah. Reggie's like
You
the
think
one good verified account. He's like the only good one I can think of. Every other blue check mark is just the same like brainless drone.
No, Doug Bowser.
Oh yeah, that too. But like most of them are just like game journalists and you know how that
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah, the second Donkey makes fun of them, they all go into a fucking tantrum.
Good. Is Donkey verified?
Let me check.
Oh wait, no. You know what? Matt and Ryan are good. They're both verified
Yeah,
now, so I can
Matt
say they're both
finally
good.
got fucking
Yeah, I know.
verified.
I
I'm
know.
so proud of him.
I don't know how
Donkey
he did
is
it.
verified.
Against all odds, he got verified.
But Donkey is also verified.
I don't want to talk about this topic for too long, but I remember when the Pro Jared stuff was going down, I thought that he was verified, and then after that whole thing came out that he wasn't anymore, and I made that tweet where I was like, oh, Pro Jared lost his check mark because of all this, and a bunch of people were like, no, he was never verified, like I checked the archives and he wasn't, and I was like, I just created an alternate universe where this actually happened because it actually had people believing me. Like, I totally didn't want to spread misinformation. It was completely my bad. But it was just like, I can't believe that I was responsible for the alternate universe where Pro Jared was verified and then lost
his
it
verification.
for cheating on his wife. That's all I wanted to say about this. That's all I want to talk, because I don't want to talk too much about drama. But I just thought that was funny, because I love being responsible for, like, alternate universes. Like, like misinformation when it's funny, I think, is just, like, when it doesn't matter. You know? Because, like, if you accidentally make someone believe that Pro Jared was verified, like, it's not really going to harm anyone.
No.
It's just funny to think about, like,
Yeah.
the possibility that that could have actually happened. I wanna try and think of like more ways to do stuff like that in ways that don't matter, like make people think something actually happened that was just like, I don't know, like the invention of something, or it's a hard thing to think about because you're like, I know it sounds awful. I don't want to misinform people. I just want to, I'm trying to like think of ways like that could even happen in like other situations. It's just hard to like conceive. Like, how do you even go about thinking of that? Like, I did it completely by accident.
The thing is, though, like, the way a lot of things are invented normally sound really fucking far-fetched.
That is true. Like chocolate chip cookies, wasn't that invented by accident?
You know what? You want to know how the ice cream cone was invented?
Oh no.
At a fair, there were two booths. One of them was a Belgian waffle stand that was not selling anything. The other stand was an ice cream stand. They were selling really well, and they ran out of plates. And so they're like, "Oh God, what do we do? We can't sell our ice cream because they have nothing to put it on." So they asked, "Hey, you want to put the ice cream on your waffles?" And they're like, "Oh,
Ooh.
sure." And they realized, oh wait, that's kind of weird because there's nothing to hold the waffle on. So what they did was
They
they
just
turned
grabbed the
the
waffle.
waffle
They just turned it, folded
into a
it.
cone,
That's pretty
and then
dope.
the ice cream cone was invented.
You could also
That
eat
does
that like
not
a taco.
This is true, but that doesn't sound real. That
Yeah.
does not sound like a real story.
It's yeah, like a lot of things where it's just like, oh, how can we remedy this problem?
Yeah.
Like,
And,
weren't chocolate chip cookies like some lady like spilled chocolate chips into like her cookie batter or something?
I don't know, probably.
And she was
You know-
like, well, I
and,
can't just pick those all out, so she just baked
Yeah.
them.
And the story about the potato chip also was kind of
What?
similar.
Wait, what
What
happened?
happened? How the potato chip was invented apparently was a chef at a restaurant was making some French fries for this one really picky customer, and every time he kept sending them back saying they're not crunchy enough and they're not salty enough. So he gets fed up, burns them to a crisp, and just pours a shit ton of salt on them. Then he gives it to him. The guy eats it. He's like, "This is the best thing ever."
Jesus.
And then
What
and
country
that's
was
how-
this?
I don't know.
Because that sounds like America to me. Even
By
though
the
they're
way, okay.
they're potato, well, because they're French fries, right? And obviously French fries came first.
But
But like, how was he
you wanna-
cutting them?
I don't know.
Because potato
you
chips
also-
are cut in like completely different ways.
Yeah. But here, I'm gonna give you another thing. Guess which? Okay, so the water slide was invented in the United States. Guess which U.S. state the water slide was invented in?
Oh, are you
You
gonna
the
give me some
viewer at
options?
home.
Give me like a multiple choice.
All right. Is it A, Texas, B, Minnesota, C, Wisconsin, or D, Florida?
Texas and Florida are hot, so I could see it being one of the two, because they're both also like adjacent to like water, so I could see them having like an easy water source to like do it. Minnesota sounds too cold, because it's like snowing there all the time, and they only really have like the lakes. And the other one was Wisconsin, right? Mm-hmm. And they're both right next to each other. Mm-hmm. Well, there's two. Aren't there two Wisconsin? No, I'm thinking of Michigan. Michigan's weird.
Yeah.
Why are there two
Michigan-
Michigans?
It's just two land masses owned
Yeah,
by
but-
the same people.
Why are there two Michigans? Like, why isn't it like West Michigan and East Michigan? Why is it
Because
one
they
state?
haven't had a conflict yet.
That's so
They're too nice.
Is that what happened with the Dakotas? Is that why
Yeah.
there's two Dakotas and like two
Yeah.
Virginias and like two Carolinas?
I know the Virginias was because of the Civil War.
We could save a lot of space on the flag if we just combined all the states so we didn't have to remember.
Just make one mega state.
Why is it called like West Virginia when like the other Virginia goes farther west than West Virginia?
Listen, okay, it was the fucking 18 something. They were not
Fucking
thinking that.
early
properly.
Americans were idiots. Okay,
Take a guess.
okay, I'm gonna say Florida.
Joke's on you, motherfucker. It was Minnesota.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
How?
I don't get it. Literally, mini Canada has the fucking invented the water slide.
How?
It was made by, I forget who made it, but like it was made by a guy in Minnesota. They're just trying to think of something to do for fun during the summer. It's
The
like,
water
we can just
slide,
take
right? Not the slip
Yeah.
and slide.
Not the slip and slide,
Okay,
the water
okay,
slide.
okay.
Like actually made of like metal and stuff.
Yeah. Dude, slip and slides fucking suck. When they're
Yeah.
like just flat sheets of like plastic that you
The
just
thing
like
is, though,
lay
like-
down on the grass, because they just contour the bumpy like grass and then you slide on it and you just go like.
I find them fun.
It would
They're
be
more
better
fun
if
to-
they were inflatable, so that way you weren't like
Yeah.
just sliding on the ground and you actually
Like,
didn't have to worry about like falling off.
There are these like big public events in states like in beach states like California and stuff where like they have these giant inflatable slip and slides that are like a mile and a half long or something
Jesus.
crazy like
I would
that.
love that. That would be fun
Yeah.
as hell. Because like water
Dude,
slides
they-
are cool because you have like the
Yeah.
momentum and you're like obviously going down, but like and it captures like some of that of like roller coasters. like,
Yeah.
where you're like falling down, but they can only be like so long because obviously you like can't go up. That's why I love those like cartoons where they have like twists and turns and like water slides, like a complete vertical loop. Because I love the idea of you just sliding so fast that you like go all the way around.
I mean, there are looping slides. It's just they're like tilted a little bit.
They're not very safe, also.
No, they have to be tested.
Oh yeah, of course.
They are pretty. They're safe enough where you don't really get injured on them.
Oh, I know there's the ones that go like sideways. I'm talking like a loop-de-loop, like on a roller coaster that just goes like up.
Have you heard about Action Park?
I think there was that Defunct Land I don't think I watched it though.
But bro, Action Park is a fucking wild story. They actually had like here. Let me just send a picture of one of their star attractions of the Cannonball Loop slide.
Oh, that's exactly what I was thinking of. I think that like slide with just the loop at the end.
Mm-hmm. Literally one of the most dangerous amusement parks in America.
That tube looks so skinny. Like, it doesn't even look like a human could fit in that.
Yeah, guess what? When they were testing this...
it looks like it's for babies.
When they tested the slide, when they put mannequins or crash test dummies through it, when they came out the other side, they didn't have their heads.
I was going to say, were they decapitated?
Yeah, they were.
I was literally going to say... Have you heard of that, like, Japanese suicide coaster?
I think I know what you're talking about. It was the one where it's like the 6 loops.
Yeah. And they get smaller and smaller to the point where it like breaks your neck by the very last one.
No, what happens is it's like an overload on your brain.
Yeah, I think there's just too much G-force in like too small a space, so like your brain just gets like, crushed or something.
Yeah, I remember watching something about that. It was really interesting and weird.
Was it ever like real? I thought it was just like a schematic, like Mickey's Dick Smasher.
It was a 3D model. It was just like a...
So it wasn't actually real. It was just like a concept.
I don't think anyone would approve of building an actual fucking suicide coaster.
Can you get arrested for that? Like, if you design a machine that could potentially kill people, but don't make it, like, could you be arrested for, like, war crimes or something?
I don't think so. I think it's just like I think if you did make it, and I think that's the problem, because its sole function is to fucking end people's lives.
So is it at the discretion of like whoever builds it? Like if I build like a roller coaster that is designed to like explode when it's done, and I detail like exactly how to build it and like with exactly how much like materials you need, but I never make it and I just like hide it somewhere and then like someone in the future finds it, or like even if I'm like still alive, if someone finds it and they make it and like my name is on it, like would I get in trouble if they actually like built it and get away with it?
Yeah,
because I feel like that's pretty much like I can't think of the word, like it's not collaboration, like collusion or something, I don't know, but like you're pretty much like responsible for it.
Because you created the thing, you just didn't manufacture it.
Even like mad scientists are like, I need to destroy this, and then they'll like tear it up or like hide it away. I never got that. Like, why not just destroy it? Like, I get that you worked hard on it and like it's a danger to mankind, but like if that's the case, why not just destroy it and not have to worry about someone finding it?
Because pride.
Because plot, mostly for like also, fictional settings.
Like, if you create a gun too. Like something that's like something that was a gun that shot out mini guns that shot out bullets. Like,
that's literally just a gun in Enter the Gungeon. Except it's a bullet. It's a bullet that shoots guns that spin and shoot bullets.
But you know what I mean? Like if you made that and someone, that's still your creation.
Yeah,
it's just
I would feel bad if I saw someone like using it to like kill. I'd be like, okay, I'm indirectly responsible for this. But also like if they find it in their own way, then you're kind of indirectly responsible for the destruction.
Also, another funny thing about Action Park is that it was in New Jersey, which definitely makes a lot of sense.
Oh yeah, that's...
New Jersey and Florida are the most clowned on states in
California and California.
Yeah,
I would say California and Florida are like the top 2, but like New Jersey is definitely up there. We should just make a tier list that's like ranking all the states just based on what we know about them.
I found a really funny article where it was just roasting every single U.S. state. I forget where it was.
That's hilarious. I was in Japanese class this week. This is like the first week of class. I had been busy over the weekend, so I couldn't get the podcast out for a while, but I should be able to just like sit down and edit them like day of or day after and just get them uploaded now. So, like I won't be as busy like getting ready for class and stuff like that. But I was in Japanese class and I was like, someone should do like YouTube reviews of like languages where they like spend a week learning a language and then like do a video review on like the language and just be like, because so far I've been learning Japanese and like it makes sense that like they have a bunch of letters that are like the same sounds, you know, and like the system definitely makes sense, but I'm noticing there's like a lot of like other letters like from Chinese, and I'm just like, they had a good thing going with like the hiragana, where it's just like this solid system of like vowels and sounds, like it makes sense and you combine them to make words, like that's just intuitive, you know, like because English, like if you were to review English, or if anyone were, you'd be like, it's definitely like easy to learn but like difficult to master, because obviously like native speakers who've been like speaking it their whole life, like they know exactly like what kind of makes sense in what situation, and like sarcasm, and so you could say that for probably any language, but I feel like English is one of those languages where it's like pretty central nowadays, because like even other countries like Japan, like they spend a lot of time learning English so that they can be fluent as well. But like
it's because it's like seen as like the world business language. I think
even like, don't they program in English too?
Yes.
It's like makes sense, because like that would be really hard to program in Japanese.
Yeah, that would be hard to like try and translate in other languages.
Yeah, especially if you had to localize a game by translating all the code.
Oh god,
that would be the worst.
That'd be kind of wild.
But I feel like English is just like you kind of arbitrarily put sounds together, put like letters together to make sounds. Like sometimes ka is like ca, and sometimes it's ka. But in Japanese, it's always ka. Like no matter what.
Yeah.
Like if you hear a ka, you know it's the letter for ka, and that's all it's ever going to be. Sometimes, like, some letters will make, like, a different sound. Like, there's no letter for F, or there's no, like, F sounds in Japanese, so they kind of, like, improvise. Like, they use hu instead of, like, fu for tofu, but you kind of say it as, like, tohu, so it kind of sounds like the fu sound, but you never, like, my professor said you never touch your lip to your teeth, so you never say, like, fu, you go, like, hu, and it kind of makes the sound when you, like, shape your mouth that way.
Shohu.
Yeah, basically that is like, you could spell that, because show is like a character, I think, so that'd be very easily done. It would just be like two characters. I think there's a show, at least, don't quote me on that. We haven't gotten there yet. We've only learned like 30 hiragana so far, and I still have to study for next Monday, or next Tuesday actually, because it's Labor Day on Monday.
If you learn Japanese, if you become fluent in Japanese, could you please be my translator if I ever go to Japan?
Sure. Yeah, I'm pretty down to go to Japan, because like once I'm done with college, I'll be done with like 4 courses in Japanese, and also have the time and hopefully money to maybe take a vacation. I was talking to another friend about maybe going, and he's pretty good with Japanese too. He knows more than I do, at least.
I'm thinking about at some point during college studying abroad for a semester in Japan.
That would be fun.
Like, I know, at least with my college that I'm planning on going to, they do a thing where all you do is just you go to these different famous locations in Japan, and you just write down what you think about them.
They have like a tour or something.
Yeah, and that sounds awesome.
That does sound cool. If they set you up with a bus pass, that would be the shit, because buses are like all over Japan.
I'm guessing you're going with the same people, considering it's a class.
Yeah.
But like, that sounds so cool. You're basically essentially getting the brochure of Japan.
Yeah.
Like, you're getting every cool thing.
You're basically getting paid to take a tour.
Yeah.
And you have to write like a page, but like it's not that hard. Just talk about like what you found interesting or something.
Oh, Lord help me, all the money I'll spend in game stores and in the Pokemon Center.
Jesus,
God help me.
Definitely like save up for like spending or something. I'm definitely going to do that.
I'm getting a job in a few weeks.
Yen is like a lot more like flexible than dollars, I think, because like, well, it's like 1 yen is worth a lot less than $1. 1 yen is like 1 cent.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like that's not an exact translation. It's like about that much. Like 100 yen is like just less than $1, I think. But it's very like easy to like get like you get like 500 yen notes or something like that. So if they set you up with like money exchange and like a bus pass, like I think you'd be good to
Yeah.
go. I would be trying all the food there personally.
You know what's really funny? I saw Max Mofo a while ago did a vlog in Japan, and when he first
Oh no.
got there, when he was exchanging his Australian dollars for yen, he was at this machine in like customs, and out of nowhere, in the machine, this little door opened up, and there was just a Japanese guy at the other side showing him what to do.
What? Did he not know how to use the machine?
No, well, I think one it was in Japanese, but
Oh.
also I think that's just a normal thing that happens. It's like there's a little door for the Japanese man to pop out and help you out
There's just a person in the booth.
on the other side.
That's like the shit they do in like Jackass when they try to like prank someone. Like they'll have like a rigged like vending machine and then someone will like stick their arm out when they go to like reach it or they'll like grab them or something like that.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say Max Mofo like ran into Super Mega or something.
Oh my God, could you imagine? Oh, that'd be the crossover of the century.
I was literally just about to say that actually. So stop
the
reading
most
my mind
ambitious
over the internet.
crossover in history.
Most ambitious car. What if like every vlog YouTuber did a vlog together? Like they just go on a tour.
A giant combination vlog.
Imagine.
That'd be insane.
They're all like vlogging in a circle doing like the selfie thing, but they're all like pointed
They're all
at each other.
speaking over each other.
Yeah.
You can hear all of them at once.
Yeah, they all do their intros at the same time. What's up, Jake Paul?
Oh, that'd be incredible. I'd pay to watch that.
God, that would be awful. Imagine being in the center of the circle. I think your brain would explode from like the sound waves.
I'd just be curled up in a ball screaming.
What was that one like? I remember seeing some show or some movie with like a joke where they're like, if we stand in a circle and scream at it, maybe it'll explode or something like that. I don't remember what it was from.
I don't know.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Like
No,
vaguely?
I don't.
Oh my god. I remember hearing that joke like somewhere and I can't remember. If you know where it's from, please comment if you know where that joke is from or if it's along those
Please.
lines.
We
Please
need,
tell
we need
me.
to know.
I need to know.
These are the important information.
This is the important things we search after on the podcast using
Yes.
our tiny platform to ask people
My
for
19
things.
subscribers.
Well, it's going up on my channel.
Yeah, I know. Remember when I recorded videos?
No.
Neither do I.
Well, when I'm home, we'll do Let's Plays, and that'll be
Yes.
fun. Are we gonna do anything when I'm home for Thanksgiving? Because I'm only gonna be home for like a weekend.
How do you think we'd be able to finish Mario 64 DS in 2 days?
I mean, we could do Minecraft Story Mode and just knock it out in like one weekend,
could.
hopefully.
We probably could. I think we could probably pull that off.
Minus like Thursday and Friday, because I'm getting home like Thursday, and obviously it would be Thanksgiving. So like maybe I could come over like Friday. Friday, Saturday, maybe Sunday, but Sunday will probably be packing up. Anyway, we're talking too much about ourselves. What else is there in gaming news, or do you have anything?
My copy of Pikmin 1 should be here today, so I can
boy.
finally start that.
Pikmin.
I'm very excited.
I never played any of the Pikmin games.
I've played I own 3. I played a little bit of it, and I've played a lot of 2, but never beat it. I really want to beat all 3 because I like what I've played and I like the gameplay of it.
Mm.
And honestly, I think you'd probably like it. It's like a
3
it's a fun
specifically,
thing.
or just the
I
series?
think all of them. I think the whole series, even with like the GameCube's kind of unoptimal controls.
I
it's
played
still
it.
Very
I played it
intuitive.
freshman year of college because my roommate had it. He had like a copy of Pikmin, which he brought his GameCube games, but he didn't bring his GameCube. But luckily, I brought mine, so we were able to
how
play
far
like
did you
Melee
get?
and stuff. I got like a couple days in, but that was about it. But even on the GameCube, I didn't think it was too bad. Like, yeah, it's not as precise, but it makes for more like general controls or whatever. To where it's like you can throw something in someone's like general direction and it'll go there.
And also, like, I don't know, speedrunners use the GameCube versions, so like
Yeah.
I don't know. that
Stuff
must
like
mean
locks
something.
in, right? Like when you aim at something.
Somewhat, yeah. That's more so
Okay.
in Pikmin 3, where there's an option to lock
Yeah.
onto something and be able to swarm them that way.
Another friend of mine let me play Pikmin 2 on the Wii, but I only got like 2 days into that too. So my experience with the games are both very limited. I did
I've
like
played-
what Pikmin 2 seemed to have, where you're like raising money to repair your ship. And it's
Yeah.
about like finding the most optimal items to like get the most money. I
I
think
also-
when it was my birthday, Pikmin 3 was like one of those games where it's like where Nintendo is like, happy birthday, here's 30% off a 5-year-old game. It's like, gee, thanks Nintendo. Yeah, like
Thanks.
they're like, here's 30% off a Wii U game, and I'm like, most people don't even like have a Wii U. Like, I don't know who they expect. Like, all the games were either games I already had or like weren't interested in. Like, one of them was
Yeah.
like Paper Mario Color Splash and like Breath of the Wild for Wii U, and I'm like, wow, great.
I mean, doesn't the Wii U version have the same like inventory stuff as Wind
Yeah.
Waker HD?
Oh no, they scrapped the different. They scrapped that.
Uh,
They were gonna have the map on the gamepad, but they didn't want the game to be like too different from the Switch version. So
Dang.
they ended up just going with a normal version, which like I do feel like it could have been cool and like used for some
Mhm.
puzzles. I feel like Nintendo just like didn't know what to do with the gamepad. Like there's so many good ideas for like Mario
Yeah.
Party 10 even had like a good idea going with like the Bowser mode where like one
Mhm.
person can like I don't even know any of the Bowser mode games actually,
I
but
think
like
it's just you play really overpowered Bowser and you pretty much always win with it, but
but it's like 4v1 and I think that's
yeah,
cool. The
the
imbalanced
asymmetrical
gameplay. Yeah,
multiplayer, yeah,
that's what I was thinking of.
like
But
with Nintendo Land
they
and
could
like
have done
Luigi's
so
Mansion Game
much
and
with
stuff.
that. Like you know
Yeah.
how like Star Fox Guard or whatever had like that thing where you like set up your base and then like
Hmm.
wait for the guys to come through. Like it's sort of like tower defense, Five Nights at Freddy's,
Yeah, Five Nights at Star Fox.
basically. Yeah, well, it's like also like Bloons Tower Defense where you're like trying to kill the guys before they get to the end or to the center or whatever. And that could have been used for like so like one person like makes a maze and then like the other
Hmm.
person has to like get through or they make like a dungeon like a Zelda dungeon with like
Yeah.
enemies and then like the other person has to get like I don't know. Like I feel
I
like
think
even
I
Mario Maker was like close to getting that where
yeah.
like cuz it's not like couch co-op or like couch
Hmm.
multiplayer where like but that would have been such a good idea for like Mario Party games where like one person like designs a thing and the other like has to do it and they
I
get like so
think
many tries.
I genuinely think Five Nights at Freddy's could have worked well on the Wii U
Yeah.
because like
Yeah, I was
you
thinking
could have
that
had
too.
the balance of trying to look at the room and use the shoulder buttons for the lights and the triggers for the doors, and then
Yeah.
actually use the gamepad as the camera,
You know what else would have been cool?
and
Like a
then
cool
and then you
idea?
also could have the jump scares on both screens.
Yeah. You know what else would have been a cool idea? If
What?
like if there was like a two-player game where like two people face each other and like one person has the gamepad and one person has like a Wiimote and a nunchuck and like only the person with the Wiimote nunchuck gets to use the controls and only the person with the gamepad gets to see like the screen and the person with the gamepad has to like instruct the other person like where to go and like what to do.
Oh, that's cool.
That would be
I like
awesome.
that.
That I was watching this guy play like Mario Odyssey like while listening to chat, and I feel like that gave me like a good idea for like a segmented game like that where like one person does like half and the other person does like half. They could even do that with like the Joy-Cons on the Switch. Like one person like they did that with Snipper Clips, but that was like meant to be like collaborative. But you're both like the same character pretty much. You're not
Yeah.
like I love the idea of just like one person taking the role of like aimer and the other like shooter or something like that. That's even present in like Mario Kart Double Dash. That would be awesome on Switch.
Yeah.
That would be fucking awesome.
That'd
If
be
Mario Kart 9 was just Double Dash 2. I didn't even grow up with Double Dash, but just like how unique it was and like it had like the whole partner thing and the swapping thing. It'd be so cool if one person like drove and braked and drifted and accelerated and the other like used items and like or maybe maybe the person in the back like drifts and they use items and then like the person in the front like steers and brakes and drifts or accelerates, my bad. But like
Yeah.
that'd be so cool. Like I just love that idea of like two people like getting in sync and like getting the hang of it and like working together. I got to make a game like that someday once I learn how to make.
Yeah, I'd be cool with that.
I also love the like character exclusive items. It gives you like more of like a reason to pick a certain character other than like, oh, I like them, you know. Cuz like now they don't even have exclusive carts. Cuz like even in like the Wii one, the carts were like relegated to like certain weight classes. So like if you're anyone in a certain weight class, you can usually pick like the same
Yeah.
vehicles as someone else in the weight class. But like even then there's no like I guess if you really care about like speed running or like being better than your friends, then there's like picking a heavy character on a bike because obviously that's probably like the most optimizable, I think, because like the speed run uses like Rosalina on a bike or something because it has like the tightest drifting or whatever. And I like the cart customization. If they had like some sort of like custom cart and like the stats were still like customizable to some degree. Like that would be cool if each character had like their own unique set of items.
Yeah.
Even like the special items, like that would be cool too. Like say you do well for long enough, or like you don't fall off. Maybe you know how like Smash has like the final Smash meter that like builds up, and if you die or get hit, or I think just if you die it goes down, but maybe it could be like if you get hit it goes down a little, and if you fall off the track it like goes down a lot. And they could keep smart steering obviously, because you know that's like a handicap for newer players, but like that would be a good reward for like playing well, is like building up a meter and then like getting a special like big kill item that you can just like Bowser had like the giant shell, or like it'd be cool if the Koopas got like a shell rush where they had like you know how like the gold mushroom is like infinite mushrooms for as long as the like meter lasts. If the Koopas had like unlimited green shells for like a certain time, they could just like throw 100 like behind them or in front of them, because like in Double Dash they also had to like turn a lot of items into special moves, so like only certain characters could get like only I think Toad and Toadette got the gold mushroom, and like only Bowser got the giant shell, and only the Koopas got like the triple shell. But I feel like those were kind of underpowered compared to some of them. So I feel like if they were like rebalanced, and man, this just makes me want to make my own cart game now.
Yeah.
Like, God, I need to fucking stop being useless and learn how to code.
Okay, you wanna hear something that?
Sorry, I rambled for so long, but I just love that idea so much.
Good.
I just like get so ambitious.
I just realized something.
What?
Fucking Superior has hands.
What? Oh yeah, those little leaf things on the side. Yeah. Those are like little hand flaps, like a T-Rex.
Yeah. And then in the back, it's in the back because he's like a regal stance. I didn't realize this. That's awesome.
You didn't know that? Does it learn throat chop?
Let's find out.
Doesn't like Ekans or Arbok learn throat chop, or like some snake?
Yeah, Corsola learns throat chop.
Yeah, we talked about this already, I think. It's just so funny. There are like so many Pokemon without hands.
It does not learn throat chop, sadly.
It's probably one of those things where it's like a translation thing. Or like, is it one of, like, what's it called in Japanese? Like the move?
Let's find out.
It's called like strangle. That would be even more hand-centric, because you would have to like grip someone with it.
It's called Hell Thrust in Japan.
What? Oh my god. Dude, if I ever make like a sex move, I'm calling it the Hell Thrust.
I was not expecting that.
You really weren't? Dude. Well, what kind of friend are you? You don't expect me to make a sex joke when you hear the word thrust?
I don't know what I was expecting, just not that.
Sounds like something you would read in like a porn comic or something.
Yeah, like a really poorly translated one.
Or just like a really corny one with like funny dialogue. Because like there's a lot of them like that. Like the one with like the fucking, what was it? The ring pop or something. The guy like proposes to the girl with a ring pop and she's like all over it.
Hell yeah, bro.
Because I think she likes candy. Not me, but like actual. Okay.
If someone proposed to me with a ring pop, I would accept it immediately.
I'd be sad because it'd probably go away someday. Or like, would you not eat it? Or would you like save it for like a special occasion? That wasn't the Merlot we were saving for our 10th anniversary, was it?
Oh god, that's the thing. Oh god, now you brought the moral implications of eating a ring pop wedding ring into my head, and I don't know what.
I mean, I'm telling you, that's the idea, dude. We gotta play Facade.
The thing is, though, I don't know how I did, but I got the best ending in that game entirely by accident.
I love how that game wants you to take it like so seriously, and then meanwhile you say melon, and he just kicks you out.
Like, the thing is, though, I genuinely don't know how the fuck I got it to work. I was literally, the two people were arguing. I just said, please stop fighting. And they stopped.
No. Like, the whole thing with that game is, if you do actually take it seriously and, like, try to help, you can win. Like, it's not hard, like, at all. But it's so hard to take seriously that, like, nobody beats it. And it's the funniest thing ever.
But the thing is,
fascinating.
Like, I don't know what it was, because, like, it was a weird 1 in a billion thing that happens where I just said please stop fighting,
And they did. You're like,
yeah,
it worked.
No,
Yeah.
the thing is though, it wasn't even like they were in the middle of talking, they just snaps, and then they walk over, they smile like, no, we're good, everything's fine.
Yeah, because they have a
out.
guest over and they start fighting, and then
you.
they realize they're like, oh, we shouldn't be fighting in front of our guest. We should like resolve
No,
it.
the thing is though, yeah, and like I just single-handedly saved their marriage. Can I get some fucking? Can I get a gift here, please?
Can I get an F in the chat? Oh god.
The thing is though, like, it's a very ambitious little game.
Yeah,
like,
it's definitely more of like a social like experiment sort of thing.
Yeah, it's very much like this weird experimental little indie game that like I think deserves to be somewhere in history.
They should put them in Smash.
As
First as a player, first indie character in Smash is Trip and Grace, and they have those weird like isometric limbs. I don't think so. I feel like it's one of those games that like somebody made for like their like psychology class or like communication class, where it's like they show how like couples get in disputes and like how a third party can like resolve them or something. Because like I think I talked about it a lot last time, but like it really like my fascination with when we were talking about Shark Tank, I was talking about like human psychology and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It definitely feels like one of those games that like someone made to like depict conflict and like resolution and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Joel from Vinesauce just going like, I am a snake. Or settle it in the ring. I love those videos so much.
Apparently, the people who worked on Facade, this is the only game they've made.
Unsurprisingly.
Yeah.
What was it even made in? Unreal Engine.
Oh god.
Dude, imagine like realistic Facade.
I don't know what it was. It doesn't say what engine it was made in.
Was it even made in an engine, or was it just like a fever dream? Does it not say on the website? Like, they have a website, right? Don't they have like a Patreon?
I don't know.
I remember seeing like a
page. Hold
on.
Facade is just gone now.
I normally don't like Google things myself on the podcast, but I need to see like if they have like a Patreon or something. Because my friend downloaded it like not too long ago. Oh, these thumbnails. Oh god,
this game was made in 2005. Oh
yeah, it's an old fucking game.
It was programmed in Java and C++.
Oh boy. Do they not have like a Patreon or something? I swear to God, I thought they did. Cause like people are like still playing it, aren't they?
Yeah, like it's a pretty important game in terms of like indie development.
Definitely. Someone should remake it with like Unreal Engine.
That I think would be pretty neat.
The way they did the graphics is pretty interesting too, like how they're always like facing you in a way.
Yeah, Doom style.
Yeah, where it's like the lines are drawn based on like the surfaces you can see.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a cool style, but it definitely is like dated. Like in the way it was used, like you walk up too close to them and like their face disappears because their nose is too close for something. It's just funny.
It's bizarre.
And like the objects you pick up are just like PNGs, like the Mario 64 tree, and it just like rotates to face you.
Yeah.
Like whenever people talk about that sort of thing, I always default to like Mario 64 because it's just the first thing I think. Because I didn't really play Doom, and I still haven't.
Bro, you should play Doom. Doom's fun as shit.
The originals?
Yeah, Doom.
Yeah.
Like,
I heard the Switch ones were kind of not good.
You can just download GZ Doom for free and find a Doom shareware like file for free and load it up and just get a good experience with it with keyboard and mouse. It's still, I don't know how that game, even with its older visuals, that game is still really fun.
Oh yeah, like older graphics are definitely like more charming, I think. Like even in like Pokemon's case, like ever since they started like using the 3D models, like even playing like Pokemon Masters, it's just like weird seeing the same 3D models that we've been seeing for like 5 years in a game where like the characters are so like well animated and like all of them are definitely like updated to like hold up to like even like the older characters are still like stylized to where it's like consistent. So you're like, oh yeah, that's a Pokemon character. Like they've got like the Sugimori face. And I'm not saying they all look the same, but like they're definitely like distinct and unique enough to the point where you can like recognize them. but like it's just so weird, like seeing the same animations and stuff like that. Like I look back on like the old sprites like more fondly than I do like the 3D models. I think even like the shitty ones from Green, like because they're just funny, and it's cool seeing like a different art style like every generation. I liked seeing that for a while, and now it's just getting old.
I also think even some of the worst sprites, like a lot of the Gen 1 Pokemon that were like had sprites in Ruby and Sapphire.
Yeah, those are funny. Like all the Pokemon that were clearly not originally in the game.
Yeah, like Nidoking.
Yeah.
Nidoking looks fucking weird.
It's just cool seeing them in like the different styles. Like that's what's enjoyable about it. You know what someone should do? Those like reanimated projects where different people like reanimate every single like a different scene from like a cartoon, and then it forms like a whole thing with like the episode. You get it. Someone should do a thing where like they get everyone to draw a different Pokemon and then use that in the game. So like every Pokemon is different.
Like those meme repainted projects.
Yeah,
where, like, people like send in funny meme textures. For
sort of. Except it actually is supposed to be good. I love watching those like cartoon reanimateds and seeing which ones are just like the shittiest.
Yeah.
Like it'll just be like 2 frames and it's like cool. They really couldn't find anyone else for this, could they? Like don't get me wrong, like it's animating ain't easy, but I think they were really scraping the bottom of the barrel sometimes. I'm not gonna name any specific one, because you could watch like any reanimated and just be like, you notice the bad ones and they really like stick out.
I don't know. I think shit posting is still an important part of the reanimated process.
Yeah, that's
I think
true.
It's necessary.
But like when it's like 2 frames of like MS Paint, like black and white, like it just feels like they didn't even try sometimes. Like if it was bad, but it was still like they put like it could still be bad with like effort put into it. You know what I mean? Like if there's a difference between like shit posting and when it's just like bad.
Yeah.
Like there was one I don't want to name a specific, but there was one where it was like very obvious that it was supposed to be like that and it wasn't just like shitty. You know what I mean? Like it was supposed to look the way it looked. And it I don't know. I guess it just makes the better ones stick out more and look better.
One of my friends worked on the Super Mega animated.
You told me.
And Matt Watson follows him now.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool. Eli, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
Go follow at EIIR on Twitter.
Follow me on Twitter.
Funny.
Get him on the podcast someday. That'd be fun.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy.
If he would want to, we could totally do that. Have our first guest.
He actually had. It was really funny. He started a few different podcasts, and I remember listening to them like when he first made them, like because this was back when like I was kind of a sort of around the commentary scene, and when he was as well, and there's this really pretty popping off commentary / Reddit YouTuber right now named Quite, whom I really enjoy, and
I'm fine with the ones that like actually read the posts and don't just run them through a text to speech.
Yeah, he reads them. And
you're aware of like the text to speech Reddit plague on YouTube right now, right?
Yeah, I contribute to them because I'm a piece of shit.
Why? Just put on fucking like music at that point, like.
No, the thing is though, I like hearing the stories.
Yeah, like me too, but like I'll just be listening to them and I'll just like completely zone out because it's so like monotone, and I can't pay attention when it's just I went to the store to buy a candy bar. It's like, oh my god, they all use the same voice.
I don't know. I enjoy them. I enjoy them for what they are.
And they use the fucking like MLG parody voice, and it's just like, oh my god.
I just enjoy them for what they are. It's the fucking junk food of YouTube. It's not good for me.
Just read the Reddit. You could do it yourself.
I can't read the Reddit and play Minecraft at the same time.
Just highlight an entire Reddit thread and like put it in a text-to-speech thing, and boom.
It takes more time. It's not in a convenient 10-minute YouTube video.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let me go back to what I was saying. Basically, it was Eli Quite and another smaller commentary channel named Will the Thrill. They had a pilot for a one-episode podcast called Shampoo in Your Eyes, and sadly, I think that pilot episode lost to time.
Oh, rip.
And this is back when I was hanging out a lot in commentary Discord servers. That was really fucking annoying. Like
Was?
Good point.
I'm sorry.
I deleted these old videos because I fucking hate them, and I realized
cringe.
how shitty they were.
Cringe.
Basically, what I was doing was I was making these videos where it was blank Discord in a nutshell, where it was just like me joining in like someone's Discord server's voice chat or random time recording it just for the funny.
That does sound pretty funny, honestly. Just like listening in and like being the mole in the dirt and like
they weren't good. They shouted me out in that episode. Like they said I was actually one of the few good people. I could not stand it though.
I don't blame you. I really don't blame you.
After realizing they were intrusive and just fucking wrong, like I just felt bad.
Just feel too bad for them.
I deleted them off my computer and I deleted them from YouTube and off my hard drive. They are gone from existence.
Send me your official cringe compilation.
I mean, you probably could just find all the old YouTube channels that I've made and put them together.
I don't know. I only have this channel. I'll only ever have this channel unless it gets like big enough to where like I need to, because like we got a pretty good thing going on where like I do the podcasts and my stream highlights and you do the let's plays, and where we'll eventually put the verses on will be your channel too, and I'll advertise them or whatever.
Yeah, my friend Eli, he had another podcast called Switch, where it was before the Nintendo Switch got announced at all.
Oh boy.
And what's even better is the logo had like red and blue on it as well. But basically, what the whole gimmick was, it was that the co-hosts were just his friends, and they switch co-hosts every now and again.
Oh, that's neat.
And
yeah, I like the idea of like a rotation podcast.
Yeah.
Like I think Game Grumps did that. Game Grumps did that thing a long time ago, where like
the G Club.
They interviewed each other.
Yeah.
They like one would interview the other, and then someone else would interview them, and I kind of like the like rotation style.
But basically, it was rotating hosts, and I really enjoyed listening to it. So on my old Twitter account, I sent in videos of me like talking about some of the subjects and what I thought. And a lot of people were they were all really nice to me, and I'm friends with them now. But the thing is, though, because I was insecure then, and I'm still very insecure about myself now.
Yeah,
I very much. I saw myself as like I saw them as like the cool kids at the cool kids table.
Yeah.
And like and so Eli has a little private server of just friends, and it like at first it felt really weird joining. I felt kind of out of place.
Even in like a lot of my mutual servers, I only know like a couple people by proxy, but usually it's just like the person who invited me and like a handful of people. If it's like small enough, it's usually not so bad. But there's like some where I'm just like I literally only know like one or two people.
And like what's even better is one of the first things I said when I was in the voice chat was like, man, it feels weird being here. I've always kind of seen you guys like the cool kids table, and they're like, oh my god, we did not mean for you to like think of yourself, like think of us like higher than you. It's just kind of
it's usually just what happens with like whenever you watch someone, like you think they're like cool because you're like, oh wow, I'm watching their video, I'm their bitch or some shit like that. Yeah. It's just like it's just the dynamic in that sense where it's like I'm the viewer and they're the creator or the entertainer or something like that. Like they're like even like TV or like stage performances, you're like they're up there and I'm down here, and that very much like carries over. It's not as like physical as it is on the internet with like YouTube, but you still get that vibe just like seeing like the views and the comments and the likes and stuff like that. You definitely still get that vibe of like, oh, these people are like big, like they're important. Like I'm very much not that's why it always feels like weird to get acknowledged by someone, because you're like, oh, like on Twitter or something. I could never make a Twitter video of myself like some people do, because I'm just like, I don't like posting stuff like that.
Bro, oh god, I'm digging up some old drama here.
Oh no.
Back when, so let me just tell a little story. There was this guy, there was this pretty popping off commentary YouTuber named Zaptai. And,
yeah, I know that.
Yeah, I fucking love this guy's videos. He was some really good videos. Like, I really enjoyed it. I was very active in his old Discord server and the Discord server for his old podcast, Hot Wet Soup.
I remember Pyro. I remember Pyro promoted him, and I watched a couple of videos of his, and I was like, these are pretty entertaining. Like, he's got a funny voice and some funny like perspectives on things, but I was he
watched...
didn't really upload much to begin with, like even before everything happened.
But whenever he uploaded, I thought of it as like super cool. He was very active in his own Discord server. I talked to him a bunch in voice chat.
I don't like those creator Discords where like they just let their fans like writhe. Like I've heard bad things about like the Game Explain server.
But I even talked about like I even talked to him a few times just one-on-one on Snapchat.
Oh, wow.
And it felt he was really nice to me.
That's
and
nice.
Then one day out of nowhere.
Yeah, a lot of people talk to Pro Jared one-on-one too, and you know how that went.
Yeah, but basically what happened was one day out of nowhere when I was in my sophomore year, I just saw there was an upload on the Hot Wet Soup YouTube channel. I had notifications on because I was really excited for a new episode. And it was just called Hot Wet Soup The End. I'm just like, oh God, what is this?
Was it clickbait? It wasn't one of those things where it's just clickbait, was it? Where they're like rebranding.
Oh, it's Elvis. There's the other one of the hosts. Oh, it's Bionic Pig. The other host. Oh, I'm Alex. Another commentary YouTuber. Like, oh God, where is Zaptai? What's going on? And then they explained apparently he was diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder and apparently was doing some stuff behind the scenes of like talking shit behind their backs. I was just like, oh no.
Did they? Was it one of those things where like they all had access to the channel, so they like uploaded it by themselves?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then out of nowhere, and I was just like listening to it when I was working on something. I was just like, oh God, I opened up to this guy.
Shit.
I fucking talked to him about like going to therapy and starting to like, I was like, oh God.
It all makes sense now.
And then after I was like, oh God, that's not good. And then the podcast kind of stopped. And then after a while, more things unraveled. Like he cheated on his girlfriend with 4 other people. And apparently also one of them was 14.
Oh my God.
And
it don't get much worse than that.
Yeah.
You've pretty much hit rock bottom if you're doing that.
And it was like, and what's even better was this whole thing lasted. That thing happened sophomore year of high school. I remember his like final goodbye Reddit post when I was heading home from my trip to New York or Washington D.C. with one of my friends, and like that was a long time after.
Jesus.
And I was in TSA looking. I saw this. I was like, uh-oh.
In TSA on your phone.
This is goodbye. Please don't contact me.
Rip.
And what's even better was years later, like literally entirely out of nowhere, out of left field. When the new Halloween movie came out, he uploaded a video reviewing the first 4 or 5 movies. And I was just like, what the fuck?
It's like, all right, I'm just going to pretend that didn't happen.
The entire commentary community out of this is entirely blindsided by this.
Jesus.
And what's even fucking crazier was this man had the balls to put his full name at the end of the video.
Oh.
I was like, oh God, has nothing to lose.
Do not get doxed challenge.
And apparently after that, he deleted. What happened was he initially deleted all the videos, but the channel was still there.
Yeah.
Then when he uploaded the Halloween video, there was enough backlash. He just deleted the whole channel.
Wow.
And now he is gone.
That sure is something.
Yeah, it was a fucking saga. It was one of the. I felt really. For a time, I felt really shitty. I felt bad.
Dude, I don't blame you. Like witnessing that kind of thing, like firsthand, especially when you've like directly interacted with someone, is always like weird. Like even when it's like someone you just talked to once, like if you saw them like on the news or like that they were murdered or something, you'd still be like, oh shit, like I talked to that person like a day ago, or like, oh, I saw them at work like last week or something like that. Like it's just freaky to think that you've been like so like close to someone like that just happened to. And it's completely different with like relatives, because obviously you care a lot more.
Of course.
You're not just like, oh, that's freaky. You're just like, no, you're sad, obviously. So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, wow, like I was that close to, so like maybe it's one of those things where it's like there's no way you could have known, or like I don't know if they're ever in any immediate danger. If it's one of those things where it's just like a freak accident and you're like, oh shit, like I can't believe that happened.
What's even weirder is like he had a previous YouTube channel as well that's also gone. It was called Not a Hipster.
Jesus.
And it was very obviously him because like it was his voice. It was a slightly different format, but it was like he had a pretty decent fan base, and the old Twitter account's still there.
I just heard a train.
But now the thing is, the question is he going to come back at some point? Does he
I don't
have
know.
a new YouTube channel
If
already?
my sense is like if you're able to like fully admit what you did was fucked up and you're not going to do it again and you can change and you show that, then it's like totally acceptable to just like
Like,
come back to making videos. Like
I
if
mean,
it was
Dr.
me,
Disrespect.
if it was
Sorry, what were you
me,
gonna say?
I would totally be able to understand if someone didn't want to watch anymore after like something like that happened. But like
Yeah.
the people who are willing to stick with you and they can tell you changed or that you want to change, then well, you should probably wait until you've changed to start making videos again.
Yeah.
But like
You
you just gotta show the resolve.
Like, when Doctor disrespects that whole news story about him cheating on his wife, he was the one who said it. He was the one who came out with that story. Like
Yeah.
he opened up. He said he did it. He feels horrible about it.
That's a better
and
start.
he came back from it.
Yeah,
He knew
that-
what to do. He knew how to save it.
That looks a
Even
lot better.
fucking-
Like admitting to it is a lot better than being exposed
Yeah.
to it, or
Even-
like when someone else has to call you out for it. I think that sounds a lot better.
Even fucking Monkey Jones, a man who cheated on his long-term girlfriend with a pedophile who slept with a 15-year-old.
Who was a furry?
Yeah.
Important detail.
He came back from it and he admitted it. And he said he fucking regrets being in that relationship. He
Dude,
was
I can't blame him.
mentally
Like sometimes that shit just happens where you're just before you know it, like you've done something and you immediately regret it, and you're like, oh Jesus Christ! Like it happens to the best people. Like nobody is
Yeah.
completely immune from like making terrible mistakes like that, you know. But it shouldn't haunt them for the rest of their lives. They shouldn't have to feel
Yeah.
like, you know, they can never get better again or never be a
Yeah.
good person again, because it's not like that at all.
Also, dude, even though I kind of stopped watching Monkey, he has gone through some shit. One of his friends, like, I know we said not to talk about drama, but this is this is pretty old at this point.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. What happened
If
was
it's in the past, I'm fine with like talking about it,
Yeah.
because if it's
One of
all
his
like
friends-
settled.
one of his friends, Asperger, his Asperger's girlfriend Jackie called Monkey because Asperger was like beat her up and like was trying
Jesus.
to like hurt her more. He called the police. He got arrested. And like after this whole thing went down, after he was talking to her, after he talked to her for a while, she fucking started to say it was his fault that
Jesus.
that Asperger got arrested and like they even tried to like fucking backstab him, and then he made a fucking video exposing them for shit when like they said he was trying to harm them, and he came back with fucking text messages and
Oh my God.
and about like
receipts.
yeah, he pulled out. And the thing is, though, unlike some other people recently who said they had receipts, Monkey had receipts. He had the screenshots of these text conversations.
I
with
think I
these
know who you're
people.
talking about.
Yeah, I know
Okay.
we said not talk about it, but still.
Yeah. Don't. I think people
it's
might be
like-
able to guess.
But like, I just think it's like, I don't know. But you don't fuck with someone like that because
Yeah.
he tells the truth.
Yeah.
Like, even if Monkey has done a lot of shitty things and has openly said he's not the best person,
Nobody is the best person. Like that's the thing. Like, oh, I'm not the best. Like nobody is the best person. Even if you're a
But
good person, nobody's the best person except for
but
Jesus.
he knows the truth and he will
Yeah.
tell the truth,
Yeah.
even when it puts him in a shitty light.
It makes it a lot easier when like everything is out there, because there's definitely
Yeah.
those situations where like some people definitely aren't giving all the details to their side, or like all the details regarding the other side, and it makes things
Yeah.
a lot more shaky when like one person says this and another person says that, and it's like, well, that doesn't line up. Or if what they say is true, then what the other person says is definitely put in a much different context. But even when it comes to those things, like those decisions like cheating on someone or getting with someone, you never really know like the context behind those sorts of things. Like they could have been like manipulated into it or pressured into it, or like abused into it, or like someone like threatens them with like, I don't know, if they're already famous, they're like, if you tell anyone, I'll destroy your channel or something like that. So that's why I think it's important to like look into it yourself, really, or just like keep an open mind. Don't just like immediately jump with like the person you like better, or the person you agree with more. Like, kind of like give it a bit and like wait for more information to come, like before coming to a complete conclusion. You could say that about like a lot of things.
There is this guy named Spoonie, whom he worked on Channel Awesome, and he made game reviews and stuff, and he also mostly made video reviews about RPGs. And like he's done a lot of dumbass shit. He said a lot of fucked up shit on Twitter. But the thing is though, he has had a declining mental state even before he made videos. He himself said that
that certainly doesn't help.
Yeah, and
that's important to be made aware of when like considering these kinds of things too.
And he fucking dude, I feel bad for Spoonie. Like he said a lot of dumb shit, and he's definitely like he's not okay. He has some of the most depressing tweets I've ever read in my goddamn life.
Let's not try and milk this too much.
Sorry,
you don't have to read off to the like cringe compliment. Yeah, but yeah, I definitely get that. Like that's important to like. You should make sure you're in a good place before like making videos or tweets or something like that, because you're definitely gonna regret it later. Like you really need to address like, should I be saying this or should I be making this public? Especially if it's like personal information. Even just like saying you're in a bad place or you have like some disorder might like. I'm not saying like it's not. I don't know how to put this. I'm not saying it's not important to like let people know, because it's definitely good when people know so they can like put it in the right context. Like I said before, like if they hear something, but like tweeting every like depressing thought that enters your mind is definitely not a good idea, because some people forget that they have boundaries, and like Twitter makes people forget that they've, or just like social media in general, even like YouTube, I guess, like it makes people forget that they have boundaries, and like they don't have to make public every like personal detail or every piece of information about their life. Like nobody is entitled to know anything about you unless you decide to. I feel like that's an important part about like using the internet in general, is just knowing what's like appropriate and not appropriate. Like, do you remember when like the internet was like first a thing and we were learning like internet etiquette in high school? Well, like I was sort of.
I was born in 2001.
Yeah. I definitely went to school in that awkward like transition from paper to computer, because we were writing essays on paper and then typing them on the computer, which I really didn't like, because it just felt like I was rewriting it again like twice. That's why I'm so glad I'm like in college now that computers are like a big thing, because you can just make small edits to papers and not have to rewrite the entire thing, or like go back and erase stuff over like pen marks or something like that. Like growing up in like elementary school, everyone was like, you need to learn cursive, like it's going to be important, you're going to have to write in cursive when you get to college. And then Bill Gates was like, hey, I got a fancy little machine now that you can use, and you can write whatever you want as fast as you can, like, and just it's so easily accepted. Like, I'm so grateful that we live in this age. As much of a curse the internet is sometimes, it's a blessing in disguise.
There's only one thing cursive is useful for nowadays, and that's a signature.
Yeah, and even then, I still only know how to write my own name. And
I can still write the alphabet in cursive.
I can't remember like most, like some letters you can just kind of bullshit. Be like, okay, like yeah, that's a C, because it's literally just a C with like a thing shit attached to it.
G is a pretty interesting letter in cursive, because I always imagined it like it's just a little mouse. It's just like the little circles here, and then like
I can't picture it, but
here
even then, your signature doesn't even have to be your own name. It could be anything. Like legally, your signature can be anything, as long as you wrote it and like you acknowledge that you wrote it, or you know you wrote it. Then it like holds up like legally.
But yeah, look, doesn't this look like a little mouse?
Oh yeah, I can kind of see that, with like the tail and the ear and the nose. Yeah, that's capital G, right? Yeah, I can kind of see that. When I was learning Japanese this week, we did the hiragana for nu, like NU, And the hiragana symbol for that one kind of looks like a bowl of noodles. So that's like the mnemonic that we're, because it makes that sound too, like new. And
That's cool.
the symbol even looks like a bowl of ramen with like two chopsticks sticking out. Because you draw one line down, and then you draw another line down, like intersecting with it, and then you draw like a circle around, and then you kind of like swirl at the end. So it's like two chopsticks in a bowl with like a noodle on the side. It's pretty intuitive. I gotta come up with like little things for all of them to make it easier. But yeah, I find that interesting when like letters look like things.
Yeah.
You know that like human tendency we have to like see faces in things where they're not really, like the face on Mars or the face on the moon or whatever, like
Or the cheetah that looks like Mother Teresa or whatever.
or outlets, how they look like their eyes and a mouth going like, oh, you know. I there's got to be something like that, but just for like seeing pictures or animals or something like that, just like noticing them or like, even though it was like unintentional. Like, because obviously the G would look like that whether or not mice existed or not, I would assume. Yeah, like, in the hypothetical universe where cursive exists and mice don't,
Yeah.
I feel like the letter would still look like that. But I find it, there has to be like some sort of like theory or whatever the human tendency is called or whatever it's like grouped under. There's got to be some sort of like factor that like gets us to see symbols or something in places they're not intended to be. Because obviously logos are very intended to be like symbolic. Like FedEx has like the arrow and like I can't think of too
Amazon
many,
with
but
the little arrow between the A and the Z.
yeah, just stuff like that. And there's got to be something like that. I don't know. If there's not, I'll make it up when I graduate. I love that Reddit post where it's like, how do I submit a theory for academic review? Like, I've tried mailing them to colleges and they all just reject me. It's so funny.
That's awesome.
It's just like, I don't know. It's just got to be like actual research, I guess. I find it interesting that like back in the day, like the only real way that like scientific work was like peer reviewed was like, instead of publishing it, you would just kind of like send your work to another like scientist and they would look at it. And what I learned what I learned in one of my classes is like, you know, Charles Darwin, the guy who basically like conceived the concept of evolution.
Yeah.
Well, he's credited with it, but he wasn't like the only one. There's a lot of other people involved. But anyway,
But he was like the guy who wrote the book.
Yeah. He explained evolution pretty well, but he didn't know how to explain how traits were passed down. Like genetics wasn't a thing in his day. And you know Gregor Mendel, the guy who did the thing with the peas?
Yes.
He bred like the pea plants and noticed the traits. He fucking wrote to Charles Darwin about his experiment and like his research in traits and how traits were passed down. Because that was the one question Charles Darwin couldn't answer. They were like, well, how do these traits like come into later generations? And he couldn't answer. And Mendel wrote Charles Darwin and he never read it. He never read Mendel's work on genetics and how traits were passed down. I don't think he used the word genetics, but he would have been able to answer the question.
Yeah.
Like he would have known.
God.
Like it would have. Yeah. And they know this because back then, I think, I don't know how it works because I haven't seen it, but when you wrote like letters or something like that, the pages were like together and you had to cut them open to read them. And when Charles Darwin died, they went through his stuff and Mendel's letter was uncut. Like he never opened it.
God.
This was just some monk. Gregor Mendel was just some monk who just liked plants. And he got lucky. Like, his experiment could have just not worked if he picked, like, a different thing to experiment on. Because not all genes are, like, passed down, like, the same way. Or, like, he picked one that just happened to have, like, a bunch of independent factors, like color and shape and size and stuff like that. Like, they could have easily... It could have easily not worked out that way, but he just got fucking... He was just some monk who liked plants, and he got lucky in discovering this. And he wrote this, like, serious scientist guy who published a book, and he just did not believe him. Or he just didn't take it seriously enough to open it. And he would have been able to have, like, a complete works of, like, evolution and have people, like, maybe actually believe him while he was alive. Because he probably, because like a lot of people didn't take him seriously because obviously like evolution was heresy back then. But.
Yeah, because the Catholic Church ran everything, and it was like they burned Galileo's like, best friend at the stake for
not as much as they did during that times, for sure. But like definitely he was very shunned by a lot of people. And it's just like one of those tragic things where it's just like, man, had he just read the letter, he could have
He
sounded a lot
literally
less crazy.
could you have imagined like what like the records of like newspapers and stuff would have been back then of just
There were political cartoons. There's that famous picture of like Charles Darwin's head on the body of a chimpanzee because he's saying, "Oh, we're monkeys," so they're making fun of him in that way.
That's fucking amazing.
I just think that's hilarious. This is what I go to college for, to learn shit like this, not just like useless math equations that we're never going to use in real life. Even if you're an engineer, you can just fucking Google that shit or calculate it. Like, you never have to get something right on your first try. That's the whole point of like fucking building shit, is checking if it works and then making sure it works and then like getting it to work.
When I studied U.S. history, honestly, my favorite things were stuff like the political cartoons and propaganda stuff from that time.
Yeah.
Like,
because obviously, like, context is important to that. Context is important to everything. People don't seem to get that, especially in history.
Like, especially like there was propaganda stuff and like political cartoons from when there was mass immigrations of Irish and German people, where that's where my family came from.
Yeah.
They fucking, you know what they drew them as? They drew them as fucking orcs and like ape people.
D&D.
Yeah, like
D&D groups be like
you could not tell an Irish guy from another white dude in New York from that time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, it's so fucking funny from that era.
I find it ironic, the people nowadays who are against immigration, but they're totally fine with like the European immigrants. And they were like, oh, it's because it was legal back then. And I'm like, well, not really. Or just because like they were legal immigrants. And I'm like, not all the time. Like, a lot of people wouldn't be here if it wasn't for illegal European immigrants. The problem really just comes down to, oh, they're not white, so you don't want them here, basically. I'm not going to get much more political than that, and I'm not going to say who I'm referring to, who I'm refuting, but
I'm not gonna,
you know exactly
I'm not going to say my last name, but my last name began with an O, and it was an Irish last name.
Oh yeah, like Obama. That was a Jeff Dunham joke, I'm sorry.
Oh god. My last name began with an O and an apostrophe, so like, my name was a very Irish-sounding last name, and the thing is though, because people were so prejudiced against Irish people at that time, they literally they removed the O from their last name, so it sounded more German. Just hoping
you know what? Yeah,
were stupid.
I can kind of hear that now, actually. Now that you tell me.
Yeah, because the way my last name is spelled, you like it the way it's spelled, the German one is spelled differently.
Yeah. I definitely see that. You'll have to show me the original spelling after this. But or you could just send it now, I guess, and I'll just be like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll just type it.
My yeah, I can definitely see that. Oh, they changed it to that.
No. It's still spelled the same. It's just that they were.
Oh yeah. Like, I know the name you have now is how how it's spelled, but
people were just hoping that.
They changed it to the more German spelling when they first came here?
No, they didn't. It was not the German spelling. They just got rid of the O, and they're just hoping people...
it's a German name. Just said it, and they were hoping they would assume it's... Okay, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. My ancestors were Yiddish, and my last name was very Yiddish. So we very much Americanized our name.
Yeah.
It had an I sound, like an EI, and it went like sh. I'll type it to you.
Scheidenfruden.
It's something like that, vaguely.
Oh my
I think that's almost right. And they changed it to that. So you can see how they got that from the original.
You know what's really funny? My friend Alex, his either his great grandparents or his grandparents were from Germany, and you know what's even better? Okay, the story of Alex's grandparents is incredible. It was either his grandparents or his great-grandparents. They were German spies.
It was definitely my great-grandpa that migrated here. He was Russian, I think.
I forget who, but like, they were spies for Germany in World War II, and they spied on America.
Oh, wow.
And then what happened was America caught on, and they were like, hey, listen, we won't put you in prison. If you join our side, we will make you U.S. citizens. You will live here. We'll give you new names. We will keep you safe from any disgruntled former employees of
from
yours.
Any treason, revenge plots.
And so
Basically,
they
put
did
them in
that.
American witness protection,
Yeah, so
war criminal protection.
they double teamed, they double spied on Germany, and when they moved over, they had a very German last name, and
So they went back as
yeah,
Americans, and oh my
and
god,
they changed their last name to Smith because it was a super German last name.
that's hilarious.
Hmm.
My great grandpa, he was like a Russian entrepreneur, and he came to America like right before the Russian Revolution happened, and he was here
Oh
when it
God.
happened, and he couldn't go back, so he essentially got stuck here, and he lived here, and that's why I'm
I,
here.
I mean, at least you know what the thing is though. That's at least kind of a good thing. At least he like came at the right
Yeah. Oh
time.
yeah. Like he survived. Yeah, he survived that. But it's weird to think that I could have been Russian.
Hmm.
But I definitely see it in like my family.
Hmm.
Like Russian was kind of like one of the languages I want to learn someday. It just seems interesting. I'm not communist. Don't at me. Communists are fucking dumb. No, I will not elaborate. Dude, if we had a thumbnail artist, I would for this one it would just be like me holding the sickle and like you holding the hammer and us like crossing them like swords or something like
Oh
that
my God.
with like a glint. That would be the thumbnail for this one if we had a thumbnail artist.
That's awesome.
That'd be pretty sweet. That'd be hilarious. That was a good talk. Uh,
Very epic talk.
can I segue into something else?
Yeah.
You know what I've been thinking of lately?
What?
Like, what if older people were much more like savvy with memes? Like, could you imagine the memes we would get if like 40, 50-year olds were like way more common on like Reddit
If
and
my
Twitter
mom
and
had
stuff?
sent me one of those like memes where it's like heavily JPEG with like the laser that says "We will beat you to death," I would fucking scream.
Yeah, my like I feel like most boomers or just like parents in general, they're like way behind on memes. They send like lolcats and like memes from Facebook from
Yeah,
like
you
their
know what my
parent
mom sent
circle.
me? You know what's
Like,
the most recent meme my mom sent me?
oh no.
It was this was on her Facebook. It was a parody of "Sweet Dreams" and it was with cheese.
Are made of
Sweet dreams
cheese.
are made of cheese. Who am I to disagree? I cheddar the world and the feta cheese. Everybody is looking for Silton. That
That's
also
just
doesn't
like
make sense.
it's funny, but it's just like so out of nowhere. It's like why would
Yeah.
you send me that?
My mom just sends me these every day when she's on lunch break.
Oh my god. Yeah, like
I
my
love her
mom
so much.
my mom will just send me like every now and then she'll just send me something from like Facebook or like you know how like some texting apps or like you know how like the default messaging is just texting. That's like an app in and of itself. Like my parents will send me like gifs from the GIF search thing, like kind of like how Discord has, but they're a lot more like
Limited.
yeah, and like or like my mom will send me like the cartoon animals or something with like expressions or like Bitmoji. My mom had an iPhone for a while. She doesn't anymore. We converted her, and she would always send me
Good.
like Bitmoji of herself, and I'd be like, "Thanks, mom. It's good to know you care." She always uses like voice to text though. Like she'll turn on the microphone and like speak
My
what she
mom
wants
does
to
that
say.
mostly because she texts me through her Apple Watch.
Yeah.
And that
That's
it's
just
a
a
lot more
lot easier,
convenient
yeah,
for her at work.
because you have to do like one letter at a time, don't you?
No, it's just words.
Oh, I there was this girl in my summer class who had like an Apple Watch, and I saw her texting on it, and she was like writing like one letter at a time to like make the words. And
She did
there was
not
this one time
understand.
she sat right in front of me, and there was this one time where she like stretched and like put her arm behind her head, and I could see her screen for like a minute, or not a full minute, but like for a second, I saw like her tiny ass conversation. Like that's gotta give you like eye problems, you know?
Yeah.
Smartwatches are one of those things where it's like maybe there is such thing as too much phone. You know what I mean? Because it's like such a tiny screen. It's like, can you not afford to not look at your phone for like 2 seconds?
No, but the thing is though,
like-
like for my mom, it makes more sense for her.
Oh
when she's
yeah,
at work.
like
It's a lot
if you
easier
have
for
a
her to
fucking
like,
job, if you have a job, you can buy whatever the fuck you want. If it's for like work or if it's just more convenient, like those businessmen who have like earpieces, but like college students don't need smartwatches or earpieces or they don't need to be talking on like their headphones Like, you're not that important that you can't afford to just take your phone out and fucking talk on it. Now I'm fucking sounding like a boomer because I'm not spoiled with technology.
For me,
but
I kind of see the appeal of smartwatches because it's a lot more convenient to do stuff just at your wrist and not having to pull out your phone
yeah,
constantly.
because you can text in class and they'll just think you're looking at your watch.
No, not that, but I mean like if you're trying to like work on something and if you're allowed to listen to music but you don't want to get caught with your phone out, you can just
Do those
use
things
the
have
watch to
Bluetooth?
skip
They,
tracks.
yeah, they probably
they
have
do.
like AirPod compatibility. AirPods are the fucking worst thing ever made.
I like the Apple EarPods. I think
No.
they fit fine in my ears.
No, they're plastic and they're like the opposite of comfortable. It's
Listen,
just
they're the
a
only.
chunk. They're overpriced at that too. They're not
Yes,
even like, and they
I agree
only
that
they're
they're
designed to
overpriced.
only work with Apple, and they're like Apple
No,
drones
you
who
can
think
use
they
them on-
invented Bluetooth.
No, you can use the regular wired earpods, and you even can use AirPods on Android phones. They're just a lot more limited. But listen, okay?
They're designed to be better with their own product. It just supports their empire.
The Apple EarPods are the most comfortable earbuds I've had for listening to ASMR when I'm trying to sleep.
Okay,
literally-
Zach, I'm sending you like the most comfortable pair of earbuds I can find, and you're gonna take that back someday.
No,
Because the earbuds I use now are good. They stay in is the thing. Because those Apple ones, there's nothing keeping them in other than the uncomfortable shape.
They fit in my ears just fine.
If you have Apple-shaped earbuds, Steve Jobs just plowed your ear holes to the shape of his device.
Listen, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak cared about their products. It's fucking modern Apple that's the problem.
Yeah, they did, and now Steve Jobs is dead.
Fuck you, Tim Cook. Let me repair my MacBook.
Tim Crook.
But you know what's actually really funny?
Yeah.
Apple are actually starting to not treat fucking third-party repair stores like shit. They're actually
Good.
allowing them to like buy parts directly from them.
I live
And
for
become
that petty
Apple
YouTube
repairs.
guy who does like Apple repair tutorials
Louis
just
Rossman,
to
I fucking love him.
I remember that one where he repaired like the MacBook just by like
Mm-hmm.
removing some chip or something like that.
Yeah.
Like that was literally it. There was like a chip that was making it act like
Yeah.
shit, and I was like, that is really
actually
scummy.
you know what he's planning on doing? He's planning on getting a permit and setting up a table with like a microscope and a soldering station outside of an Apple store, and with like a sign that says like
Self-repair
out-
desk.
Yeah, it was gonna be like repair over $1,000. Here's a second opinion.
Yeah.
And
That's a good idea.
He's planning on live streaming it too.
Dude, you could make more money doing that than you could selling repairs for $1,000. Because there's the whole thing of like price and demand, or like
Mm-hmm.
like supply and demand, where it's like, do I really want this repair that much that I'm going to spend so much money on it? Like, there comes a point where you're just like, I'd rather not, you know? Like sunken cost fallacy. That's the whole
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
thing with Apple. It's like, they want you to buy the newest one. Like, that's why they purposefully make their shit not work. You see it in like other companies too. Like, I hate to say it again, but like Nintendo, like the Joy-Cons not being the best piece of hardware in the world really feels like they could have made them better. And it just feels like they made
At
them the
least
way
their
they
repairs
were.
are free in the U.S.
That, yeah, now they are after like 2 years. That's the whole
Yeah, no,
problem is
lawsuit.
like people have already gone through like 2 or 3 pairs of Joy-Cons depending on how much they play and how intense they play. But like
Yeah.
I would say my most played game on my Switch is like Splatoon with like over 500 hours, and I've played that more than like all my other games combined, I would say. And I only really used my Pro Controller for Splatoon because my Pro Controller came with, I got the bundle that was like the Pro Controller and the
Yeah.
the game and like a case or whatever. But like I tried the Joy-Cons and I was like, I don't really like these. Like, I like the layout of the sticks better in the Pro Controller. It's just easier to aim and shoot and stuff like that. Because where the thumbstick
Did you
is.
see
and I was just
Chugga's
like,
custom Pro controller?
I didn't. But the thing was like, I didn't even use my Joy-Cons that much, and it wasn't even that intense. Like, in all my hours playing Splatoon, more than all my other games that I usually play with the Joy-Cons combined, like, my Joy-Cons even managed to start drifting, and, like, I had to get my stick repaired. And I'm glad it took that long to the point where it was free, because it's just ridiculous.
You know what's really funny? This isn't a drift issue, but when I got my upgraded Switch, I noticed when I was just goofing around in Let's Go in handheld mode, my left Joy-Con acts weird now.
Yeah.
It's the blue one. I have it sent in for repairs right now, but when I move
That's
up or
good.
down, it acts as a half input.
Weird. Like you're sneaking or something.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
also
that's weird.
here's look at Chugga's new Pro Controller that he
Oh
has.
yeah, I think I
It's
saw that.
custom painted with Xbox control sticks in it. Like it looks fucking sweet.
I like how the Switch Lite has like an actual D-pad.
Yeah, it's cool.
If it has like an enhanced battery life, I'm
No, it
considering.
doesn't.
No, is it the
It does
same as
not.
the new Switch?
It's not the same as the upgrade Switch. It's the same as the old Switch at launch,
Ugh.
which is weird. Why would you
Yeah.
make the handheld only thing not have the same chip that consumes less power on the
Yeah.
new upgraded model?
If it's like a smaller chip too, right?
Yeah,
That would
like
make
I
more sense.
genuinely don't
Do,
get it.
do you think there's going to be someone who will like mod your Switch Lite to have the better chip?
I think so.
There's
That's
definitely
going
going to be
happen.
someone where like you can send in your Switch Lite and then put in the less power consuming chip.
Like even if
It
like
just makes
even,
sense. It makes more sense for the regular Switch to use more battery because it's built to be made for like both. Not that it consumes battery while it's like docked, but it makes sense for it to be more highly intensive when it's docked.
But for me, like I just like now, even yeah, it's cheaper, but that's pretty much it. Like
Yeah.
you're probably just better off buying the current one and just like and using that.
Yeah. If that becomes a thing, I might invest in like the Hatsune Miku blue colored Switch Lite just for like road trips.
Yeah.
Because if it comes, because it's like smaller and it'd be easier to fit in a bag, and if it comes with like a case with some games in it, that would be like really good. I'd love to. I could never get into getting a case for my 3DS. Like none of them ever really suited my needs. I would always just kind of like throw my 3DS and like my game case that I got from Club Nintendo with like a select few games in it, like Animal Crossing or like Pokemon or some old game I want to replay. Like the most games I would get the most hours out of. Like I feel like I would use the case for like if there was like an emergency situation and I had to escape but I couldn't take all my games, like that box would be like the games I take if I had to. Just like the case of like I think there's 9 on each side. I don't have it on me right now. It's not on my shelf, but those would just be like the few games I would take. That and like the games already installed on my 3DS, obviously, and the one like in the cartridge slot. I think I have like all the Mario and Luigi games in there. Like I have Bowser's Inside Story and Partners in Time in there, and I'm pretty sure I have Superstar Saga in there too.
You know what's
Animal
also
Crossing
really
for
tempting
sure.
right now? I'm really tempted to buy another copy of Pokemon Black 2 and just have the one that I've unlocked challenge mode on just as the thing that I give challenge mode to the actual games I play.
Yeah. If we do the Black 2, White 2 versus, are we going to do it on challenge mode?
I think so. I think it makes sense.
That'd be pretty dope. Because I've never done challenge mode. Like, I always just kind of got the keys and was like, cool.
From what I've looked up, God, White 2 is gonna kick my ass. There's a
boy.
lot of shit. Like, Elisa has a Joltik with Energy Ball. Like,
Jesus Christ. So you can't
Yeah,
use like
like-
a rock type?
you know, you can. It's just that don't
yeah.
use it when the thing is out.
Just
like-
have a Bulldor with Sturdy.
Yeah, like genuinely, Black 2, White 2 challenge mode is kind of crazy sometimes.
That's gonna be a fun one. That should be the one where we use like the hard lockout rule, where if like one of us gets a Pokemon, the other can't use it. Because there are enough differences in exclusives that like one of us could get like one of them if we want them. But then there's stuff like Mareep and like Riolu that are obviously gonna be like one of us is gonna want one of them at least pretty badly for
and
our
also
team.
like the trade evolutions and stuff like Conkeldurr and
Yeah, or like Shelmet.
yeah.
And that's a cool
One
kind
of
like
us will just
Shelmet
be
and Carablast. I love that idea of them like swapping
Yeah.
strengths. It would be cool if it was a more like, you know, it'd be cool if they had like one line where it's like you evolve it normally and it stays the way it is, or you trade like the base evolutions and then they evolve and swap. I feel like that would have been really cool too.
That'd be neat.
If they did something like that.
Like have a physical Excelgor as the
Yeah,
Shaman evolution, and then
Yeah, have it be like defensive or something like that, and then have like Carablast be like fast and like speedy but frail. That would have been cool. But both have them like have different abilities and different strengths and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Dude, I love Excelgor. I use it in Black too. and it was such a good like hard hitter.
I haven't used either of them.
We should use it in the verses and then force a trade.
Yeah.
That was also going to be one of our rules for like if we do like a hard lockout where like if one person we haven't really talked about it much, have we? I think we talked about it last time, like the concept of the verses. But one of the rules we were considering was like a hard lockout for the challenge, basically where like if one of us gets a Pokemon, the other can't capture it
at all.
Like not even for like HMs, right? Unless it's like an emergency, but I feel like it's not that, because there's plenty of water types and plenty of things that can learn HMs.
Yeah.
Like it shouldn't be that bad. Like if something comes up, we'll handle it however needed.
Yeah.
But basically it was going to be like if one of us catches a Pokemon, whether they use it or not, it keeps the other from catching it like at all. And for the earlier ones, we were just going to do, we can't use the same Pokemon on our team. So we both have 6 unique Pokemon, but like we can both catch the same Pokemon. And whether or not we use it is like up to us, or if we want to like keep our opponent on our toes, or keep each other on our toes rather, because it's just going to be us. So if we want to just be like, oh, I could just raise this at any time and use it on my team, then like watch out, like just something to expect. I guess if one of us is using it and the other like already has it, then they can't use it on their team. I think Ruby Sapphire is just going to be both of us looking for a Ralts. That'll just be the first episode. Race for Ralts.
I said
I've already used Gardevoir. Yeah.
The first episode, the coin flip for the starter is obviously going to be for Mudkip.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be racing trying to get a Ralts.
I used it when I played Ruby. I used Blaziken and Gardevoir, and they went together pretty well. Like they both covered different things.
Really good.
I taught it Shadow Ball, forgetting that it was physical, and I had to reset. But I think I gave it Thunderbolt and Ice Beam or something like that.
No, it doesn't get Ice Beam. It gets Ice Punch, but that's pretty much it.
Okay, I can not Blaziken.
Yeah.
Thanks, Oris.
I think Curly gets Magical Leaf, and you could be thinking about that.
No, it was a TM. It was already fully evolved. Yeah, definitely both of us are. I wouldn't mind getting Torchic and Gardevoir again, but we're obviously going to both be going for it.
Yeah.
If I don't get Ralts, I'll probably go for Shroomish.
Breloom is really good.
Yeah.
That's my boy.
He's really good. I hope they do.
Honestly,
I hope they do a Galarian form of Breloom and make it like fairy fighting. Make it very like Morlul or Shiinotic. Make it like fairy like that, but also make it like fairy fighting. Because I want a fairy fighting and I want a fairy fire type so bad.
Yeah.
Like those are such good like type combinations. Because fire and fighting would both cover like the steel weakness.
But also, what was I gonna say? I feel like in Diamond and Pearl, we'd both arguably be racing for a Star Lead, but also whoever gets Diamond also has free access to Honchkrow.
That's true. But I was gonna offer to play Pearl because I really wanted to.
I was actually thinking about playing Diamond too.
Yeah, I really wanted to use Misdreavus or Mismagius because it seems like it could hold its own until it evolves too.
Yeah.
So like I already used Honchkrow on my team, and the downside is I wouldn't get Rampardos, which would arguably be like an amazing teammate.
Yeah.
Especially now that I'm not like a 9-year-old kid and I wouldn't be teaching it like Flamethrower.
Yeah. Okay. Dumb question. If let's say both of us were thinking about a Munchlax, would we be allowed to like wait and try and get it off screen, and then we message each other who gets it first?
Yeah,
and then
just
that
like
person's allowed to use it.
We could stream hunting for Munchlax, but that would take so long. Like, can you save? Aren't they like set once it appears in the tree, and you can't like save and reset?
Yeah, it's the mon is set. It's just that it's also the 6-hour gap between turning on the it's, you know what I mean? Like when you set it, when you put the honey on, it's 6 hours, and then the mon shows up. Yeah, that'd be crazy. If we could use the website to find like 5 of the trees. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Or like one of us would have to find like if we're doing this as we play, one of us would have to find like the first tree possible out of those 5 that it generates. And then we would just have to keep going with the game. It tells
you 2.
Oh, right. I thought it was 10 for some reason. I don't know why.
No, that's a lot more forgiving. That wouldn't make sense.
Huh?
No, it's a lot more forgiving. That wouldn't make sense.
Yeah. But how many honey trees are there in the game? Do you know off the top of your head?
There is. I think there's like 30.
30?
How many trees how many honey trees in Sinnoh?
I liked what they did in Gen 4 where you could like headbutt every tree. I kind of wish they brought. I kind of wish they brought
21.
21. Okay, 21.
21.
I kind of wish they brought that back. Where I kind of wish, because in Diamond and Pearl you had like the honey trees, and in oh god I can't talk in Heart Gold Soul Silver you had like the berry trees and the headbutt trees.
Yeah.
I wish those all like came together. Like that'd be so cool. That would make for such a good like interactive world where it's just like all these trees I can like put honey on or get berries from or find Pokemon in, like or like I guess headbutt trees and like honey trees kind of like serve the same function, but you can find different Pokemon in like each of them, like Combee in the honey trees and like Apom in the headbutt trees. Like that would be so interesting.
Depending on if we do Gold, Silver, Crystal, or Heart Gold, Soul Silver, I can also see another mon we'd be racing for. If we do Heart Gold, Soul Silver, we'd definitely both be trying to get a Heracross.
Oh yeah, I got one in Silver, I think.
Yeah,
it wasn't really the
said
best.
It sucked because it's Rock Smash and Fury Cutter.
Yeah, that's the only stab it gets, and like Slash.
No, not even Slash. I looked it up. It's Horn Attack.
No?
It's
Oh damn.
You know what I don't get?
And it doesn't even have the broken Gen 1 crits.
Why does Pinsir get submission but Heracross doesn't? Why is Pinsir the better fighting type? It's not even a fighting type.
I don't even know, man. I feel like when they gave it a Mega, they were just like, well, we need this thing to have some niche. It can't also be bug fighting.
Yeah, and I mean, I like it. I like it being different.
Yeah,
though also,
and it makes sense because it has the horns. Like it can grab someone and like suplex them or like seismic toss. Like the moves make sense for its design. I just don't get why it wasn't like Heracross even has wings. Like it already has the wings. It should have been like bug flying. It's a beetle.
And also, but the thing is also, I think Mega Pinsir looks like a monster from like a Saturday morning cartoon from the 80s.
Yeah, I could see it, like a kaiju or something.
Yeah, it looks.
I can see that.
It looks oddly like something from like Venture Brothers or something.
Yeah, it is pretty. I like the crazy eyes. I love all the Mega Evolution Dex entries where it's just like, don't you just want to go ape shit?
Yeah, none of them. There's only one that's like actually wholesome.
Isn't it Gardevoir? Like when its trainer is in danger, like Mega evolves to protect it or something like that.
So I forget what it was. One of them
was something like
genuinely,
that. Because I think one of Gardevoir's like old Pokedex entries was like it can sense when its trainer is like harmed or something like that. I think Gardevoir was like the only homeless one. Or homeless. What the fuck? Wholesome. How did I confuse wholesome and homeless?
No, I swear to God, I remember there being like a pretty nice Mega Evolution thing. I just forget which one it was.
Yeah. I get what you mean. I think Glalie was just like, its jaw is like unhinged because its power is too much. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And it's just like, that was a lot of people's reason for like not liking Mega Evolution. But I'm like, the Pokemon only do it because they trust their trainer enough to like not go crazy with it.
I mean, Mega Aerodactyl literally and Mega Salamander, it goes on violent rampages.
Wasn't Aerodactyls like that's how it originally was? Or am I thinking of
so.
Groudon or wasn't Groudon and Kyogre also like that? Like I think Aerodactyl,
form.
I think Aerodactyl's Mega was just like this is its original form, like before it went extinct.
It's dormant genes.
Yeah, that's how it originally was. That's literally like its true form. I love shit like that too.
Yeah,
like
just like seeing older versions of Pokemon.
Yeah, what wasn't there an Alolan form like that where it's like
Alolan Exeggutor.
Yeah. Like, I love that. I love that so much. That little bit of lore.
And same with Galarian Zigzagoon.
Is that it too? Was that true?
Yeah, they originated in Galar.
That's great. I love stuff like that where it's like it's not this Pokemon was brought in and it changed. It's this Pokemon originated here and it changed in the other regions. Like arguably like genealogically, like we were just talking about like evolution and genes before, but like it would make sense for like most Pokemon to have a different form in every region.
Yeah.
Like I'm surprised they didn't do stuff like this like long ago. Like in like Gen 4 or 5. Like even stuff like the nicknaming thing that was in Let's Go, they could have easily done that in Gen 4 where it's just like you nickname your Pokemon from your party. Because they had the stylus with the bottom screen. Could have easily just hit a thing and like tapped it in and been like, okay, cool, that's dope. And I feel like I don't know. I don't know if it's like they don't think of these ideas until like the fans demand them, or if they are just like they don't want to put everything in one game because they don't want to have a definitive Pokemon game, because that would obviously kill sales. I think I talked about this in like one of the first ones where I was like, if they made the perfect Pokemon game, then no one would ever buy a Pokemon game again.
There's no point.
Yeah. Like if they made the definitive Pokemon experience, they would be kind of at a loss because they would only ever just be trying to like live up to that, and people would be like, oh, well, it's okay, but it's not as good as X, or I don't mean X like the game, but I mean like any past game. I feel like people still do that, but the fact that like everyone has like a favorite generation is what makes it like cool. Like, even the ones people say are like shit, people are like, oh no, I like that one. Because every game is going to be someone's first Pokemon game, too.
Yeah, and also, I think, I don't know, for me, every gen has its rabid fans and every game does.
Oh,
like,
yeah, obviously.
There's
no fan base is pure.
Yeah. There is a very wide margin of the fan base who say Heart Gold Soul Silver is the best game in the series.
I don't agree.
I don't agree with that at all.
It has its merits. They all have their merits, but I don't think it's the best.
For me, I'm gonna get into this now. Heart Gold Soul Silver does a lot of things right with like charm and aesthetic, and the ambient noises and stuff. But
it's a great reimagining of like what you imagined the game to be as like a child. Same with like Fire Red Leaf Green too. Yeah, I know.
But the thing is, though, my argument is Fire Red Leaf Green doesn't fix Fire Red Leaf Green Red and Blue's problems, but Red and Blue's problems just aren't nearly as bad as Gold
They were just
Silver.
glitches. Like it just came with the hardware. Like they had more space to work with. They didn't have to fucking like write the game's memory into the Pokemon. Like there was also, no bag underflow or whatever.
Heart Gold and Soul Silver literally fixed none of Gold and Silver's actual problems.
Like the game balance and stuff.
The dreaded 2-word phrase, the level curve.
Yeah. Well, technically 3, but if you just say level curve, then yeah.
Yeah. But and
one of those things where the isn't capitalized.
They arguably make it worse because they make red higher level. When you beat Blue, if you don't grind at all, if you beat Blue, you're probably going to be at least level 50 at minimum.
Yeah, you're going to be like 30 levels under his Pikachu.
You're going to be 30 levels under Red, and you're going to be 20 levels under the Elite Four rematches.
Yeah, that just makes it even harder to grind too.
Yeah.
It's just like,
and also there's no easy way of getting the lucky egg. You have to do the Chansey grind.
Nobody gives it to you.
Like
I gave up on that in Leaf Green. I was just like, I can't be bothered. The time I spend looking for a lucky egg, I could just be grinding and get probably just as far, if not a better head start.
The Nuzlocke podcast I listened to, they're getting to the end of Heart Gold Soul Silver, and it's going longer than they expected because what initially happened was 2 of the hosts wiped at Lance during the first Elite Four.
Are they doing like a retry clause where they can?
Yeah, they tried. They did
do the whiteout thing. Like if you white out, you lose. Do that. Okay.
They did the second go around, and if they wiped again at Lance, then they're out.
I see. So now they both have to like grind up again.
They did it. They're at the end, except one of them, Celeste, she wiped at Lance again. Jeez. So she's out. She's been out for months. Jesus. So now it's just
so they're still doing the post game.
Yeah, it's just Johnny and Mess. They all did all the gym leader rematches. They got all their points from there, and now they're just grinding for. They're grinding to level 75 for the end of the week. They're recording either today or tomorrow.
Nice.
And the thing is, though, the points are really close right now. So, what's going to probably happen? Here's my theory. So, one of them, Mez, has been considering doing the Elite Four rematches because that's points, but it's also extremely dangerous. So
is it like our versus system where like you gain points for doing stuff?
There's points for each Elite Four rematch. It's like 30 points. Or it's like 20 points for each Elite Four rematch plus 30 for a champion. And so if he gets through it with no deaths, that pretty much forces the other host, Jolly's hand, into potentially doing it and wiping as well. And like it's kind of wild seeing each other kind of force the other to do more dangerous things for points to catch up.
We'll also probably have like the Reggies as a thing in our Ruby Sapphire thing for extra points, just in case it gets imbalanced. Like one of us can just hunt the legendaries and then kill it. We're killing the box legend, right?
Yes.
Is it going to be a point for like whoever does it first after a certain point?
I think so.
Because it'd be kind of unfair if like one of us went to do something else and the other just like, or if one of us like pulled too far ahead. Well, because we are going to be battling after every gym, so it'd be fair if like after Tate and Liza, it's like, or after the grunt fight, then it's like do it as fast as possible, and whoever kills it first wins. My bad.
Gets that point.
Yeah, and then we could still have the Reggies too, because it would still be odd, because it would be 3, 4, and then the champion. Yeah, that would be 5 plus 8. That would be 13. So that would make for a possibility to even things up, no matter I think who gets ahead. We'll feel things out if shit happens. Yeah. We'll because it would be kind of a shame if one of us just like got so far ahead that the other couldn't like come back from it at all. So we want to make it so that we can actually like finish the games and have like some sort of climactic match where it matters at the end. Yeah. Like we have incentive to finish the game and not just first to 5 badges wins.
You want to hear something even crazier about that Nuzlocke podcast? When they did Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Jolly wiped twice.
Jesus.
He wiped twice. He was in negative points, triple-digit negative points, and he nearly came back. He was so close.
Is it one of those things where it's just like they subtract points for wiping?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So he nearly came back. He was very close to actually beating the Elite Four and winning, but when he was grinding, he accidentally triggered the fight with Barry.
Oh god.
When his team was in not good shape. Right in front of the Pokemon League.
Oh god.
Yeah. He came close to winning, but he got fucked.
Jesus.
Like,
well, by himself.
But he was very not happy because I was rooting for him. He had some crazy.
I always love an underdog story or like a comeback story. That's why I fucking loved Evo 2019. Fucking Leo's down 2-0. He wins, gets the reversal, resets the bracket, and then wins. Like, did he win 3-0?
I think he did win 3-0.
I think he just won 6 games in a row after losing 2 and almost losing.
That's the most insane
that was so crazy.
Test.
That was so insane. You could just see him adapting. Like, you can see him learning and growing and, like, getting better and, like, not falling for the same stuff or, like, doing different stuff against, like, other... It's so good. People are saying, like, Joker's broken. Like, no, Leo's just good. You can't discredit him that much and just say he's broken.
He's the only Joker who made top 32.
Yeah. He's one guy who's really good at one character. Well, he's good with other characters, but he's just, in this case, it's the one character that he used. I don't think he switched at all. I think he only used Joker for all of Evo 2019, which is insane.
If Leffen streams and I beat him on stream...
Leffen? If. I thought you said you did. Yeah.
No, if he streams and I beat him with Kirby, like, I deserve a special role.
You will. I'll give you the Thought Slayer role. That'll be your special role, is the Thought Slayer. Dude, I can't wait for Evo next year, because by then... We'll have Hero and Banjo and the last DLC characters. Well, I say last, but final 2 for now, because there's no real way of knowing if we'll ever get more characters down the line. I really hope we do. Like, I wouldn't complain if, like, a year after this pass came out, like, we got more characters. Or, like, even if they trickled them out, like, a lot slower. Yeah. Like, if we got, like, 2 characters a year, I'd totally be fine with that. As long as they're, like, fun and good and they, like, add something to the game. I love seeing, like, new series in Smash. And I'm going to sound like a hypocrite for saying this, but I do want Byleth from Fire Emblem in the game. People are like, oh, Fire Emblem, there's so much Fire Emblem. Like, yeah, it's a good game. Like, there's Pokemon, like I get, like, there should really be more Zelda. Like, I really wish we got, like, Skull Kid or, like, some other Zelda character or, like, another Kirby character. Sakurai seems to not like acknowledging any Kirby game after Superstar because those are the ones he worked on. But, like, there's so much, like, Waddle Dee, like he was one of, like, the top requested characters. Yeah, for Smash 4. He was, like, that's one of the top 10 characters, along with, like, Ridley and K. Rool and, like, Gino. Like, some characters who actually got into the new game. And, like, Simon and Richter from Castlevania. And Castlevania got so much love in Ultimate. They had so many songs.
Could you imagine if Bandana D was the final DLC character?
That'd be pretty crazy.
That'd be amazing. I'd be so happy.
I love the idea of having, like, that's why I love, like, Piranha Plant, is because it's, like, the idea of turning, like, an enemy, or just, like, they took inspiration from, like, so much, too, like Paper Mario, like, you don't see that, except for, like, the one stage, but it has the only Thousand Year Door song is TTYD medley, which is just a bunch of different songs. Like, you don't even get the full songs.
I forget where at some tournament, I think in Japan, a Piranha Plant Man got second place.
I saw that. That's all he used was Plant.
Yeah, that's fucking wild. Plant Gang, rise up.
And I wish Plant was like better, because like he was free for a while, same as like Mewtwo. But Mewtwo wasn't like bad, but like I feel like, especially for like the paid DLC characters, like they have to be interesting in some way to make people want to buy them. Like nobody's gonna buy like I don't think anyone would pay for like Lucina if she was new to Smash Ultimate, like unless you really like Lucina, or like even like they did bring Roy back, but I'm just trying to think of like.
But the thing is, so the reason it makes sense for Roy is because he was in Melee. He was
that's what I mean. It's hard to think of like an example, but like no, I don't think anyone would want to pay like okay, let's just say like Marth. If he had never been in a Smash game before and they brought him in as DLC and like a bunch of Fire Emblem fans were like excited, he's still pretty like plain and simple when it comes down to it. Like it's pretty hard to make Marth like OP without just like making his moves do like crazy damage or knockback or something. So like I feel like they're kind of like pressured to make DLC characters like interesting, which is why we got stuff like Ryu, who had like all those inputs, and like Cloud with the limit meter, and like Bayo with Witch Time, and like all those crazy combos she could do. And like even now we have like Joker with his meter, and like and like, well, that's not OP, but and then we have like Hero with his spells. Like they have to be interesting in some way, and I feel like they're like, oh, if we give them this gimmick, that'll make them like fun to play or fun to watch or something like that.
You know what I really want to see? So, I just want to see someone. I know this kind of have a plan. I just want to see someone take another low garbage tier character like Little Mac or Isabel or someone.
Oh, me too,
like,
yeah. Someone did with Isabel, but I do know how that went.
Yeah, I know how that went. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
But,
I love that.
I just want to see more of that. I want to see Leffen specifically get beaten by a low tier garbage character, so he literally cannot complain about any character being overpowered.
Like Plant.
Yeah, he says he gets his ass beat by Bowser because he's broken. No, he's just because a character's good doesn't mean they're broken.
Yeah, like Bowser has a lot of merits, but he definitely has a lot of weakness. Like he's fucking strong and fast, but obviously he's heavy.
He's fucking big.
Yeah,
big chunky.
Just hit him.
Target.
Hit him. It sounds harder than it is. I wanted to say before, like when I first played Heart Gold as a kid, it was my first ever experience with like Johto. And I fought Bryson first with a Quilava.
Oh, Price?
And,
Bryson from Gen 5.
Yeah. They have such similar names. I fought Price in Mahogany Town, right? Mm-hmm. Is that the town to the east?
It is.
Okay. Okay, I'm thinking of like Cianwood and okay, yeah. I fought him first before I fought Chuck or Jasmine. So I was essentially facing like the 7th gym leader, and I had trouble fight because I fought him with a Quilava. Because I was like, oh, he's ice type, and I used my Ampharos. I can't remember if it was a Flaffy or Ampharos, and I was like, wow, this is like weirdly hard for him being like so underleveled. I was like, because like I don't even think I knew he was the 7th gym leader. I was like, wow, this is like really high for like the 5th gym, or like this is like weirdly hard for him being so underleveled. And then I got the badge, and I was like, that was the 7th gym. And then I did the other ones. And then, like, by the time I got to the end of the game, like, my Typhlosion was, like, only level 37. And I was like, did I miss something? Like, did I do something wrong? Like, I legitimately felt like it was my fault. Because, like, in all the other games, I was like, I'm pretty suited to fight the Elite Four, even though I'm, like, a little underneath. Like, I generally expect to be, like, a higher level by the time you get to the Elite Four. So like,
you're normally going to be around the high 40s, maybe level 50 by the time you get to the Elite Four.
Exactly. And like maybe the champion will have something that's like level 60 or something like that. Yeah. And that's like the highest level. But I was like, I went in the Elite Four and like one of them has like something that's like level 45, 50. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
What did I do?
I was like, what am I doing? Like, what did I do wrong? I legitimately felt like I missed something or like I missed a whole area. And I was like, no, I literally like checked my map. I was like, no, I've been everywhere, like every route, and I'm pretty sure I fought like every trainer I could. I was like, what the fuck do I do? Like I just had to keep like throwing myself at it. Even in like gold and silver, I had to do that because I was like, I just have to keep like I have to like save scum and just hope I get lucky with like my moves and stuff like that, or like hope I have a good strategy to like take down these like higher level Pokemon.
Yeah.
Even when I did my Pichu solo run of like Pearl, I still had to strategize even though I was like level 92. What were you gonna say?
I forget what to say. That's why whenever I play a Johto game, I always just kind of, I just give in and I grind for the Elite Four.
Yeah, there hasn't been a good. I feel like Fire Red kind of nailed it with the balance, because even if you are under leveled, you could still like versus Seeker on a good route, or like at any point in the game, you can just versus Seeker at any route and just fight people.
In Fire Red Leaf Green, you just had good TMs accessible, so if you wanted to train something, you can just, oh, look at this, I just found a Slowpoke. Oh, look, I have Ice Beam and Surf. I can get Ice Beam here. I can get Surf. Here we go.
Yeah, and like other like the Game Corner has some good stuff if you've got the money.
Also, like,
but you're obviously going to be getting a lot of money from like versus Seekering and like if you have the Amulet coin.
And also if like, oh, my Raichu's missing out in a move slot. Oh, Break TM. All right.
Yeah. Unlike don't tell Mystic Umbreon.
Yeah.
He doesn't know about Break apparently.
Give Thief on a Raichu twice.
Because it's special.
40 power. Yeah.
Give it knockoff. It's special. It's 20 power, but it's special. We need to do that Better Team series. That'll be fun. If we do like better teams, then
nothing will ever give me a bigger heart attack than seeing Mystic Umbreon like my tweet when Patty
that was hilarious. He did
that genuinely fucking scared me.
Because you weren't sure if he had like seen your tweets before or something.
Yeah, because I was just like, did he see me talk shit about him before, or is
Oh my god. Yeah, because you did those. That's what I was thinking of when like we were talking about like Twitter videos before. I was like, I could never do like a video like that. Even without my face in it, I would still be like, man, I know you can just do another take if you mess up, but it just feels like so weird. I just feel awkward doing like video stuff. It says the person who does Let's Plays and streams and podcasts. But you know, if
the difference is like. If you're making a Twitter video at somebody, you're directing it at one specific person.
It's a lot more personal, especially when you make a video and not just a text reply. Because you went out of your way to like record you saying that stuff.
Saying that your teams are shit and you can feel bad.
It's like, do you even play Pokemon? I feel like those teams were made by someone who just like read the like Bulbapedia pages and was like, this would be good.
Yeah.
Didn't know that Gyarados didn't get Crunch in Gen 4.
How do you not like you literally it's moveset from Pokemon DB? How do you not look at this before you look at the screenshot and use it in your video?
No, it's so and he doesn't even notice it in editing. He has to like post a comment like, "Oh, I didn't notice that it wasn't in this game. Sorry guys." Like
he also forgot. He literally forgot that Bulk Up and Earthquake were post-game TMs in Black and White.
Jesus. Which those are good TMs.
Yeah, they're good TMs, but you should look this up. These are preliminary information that you look up about these moves.
Yeah, that's something you should know before giving advice to people.
And also, why do you run Bulk Up on a Darmanitan? What do you need the defense boost for? It's a Darmanitan.
Yeah, unless you're running like Will-O-Wisp.
Just click your fucking Flare Blitz. It'll die in one hit anyway.
Yeah, I don't think one defense boost on Darmanitan is going to make much of a difference.
No, I'm saying if you don't even need the attack boost from it. If you have a good-natured Darmanitan, you click one move and the thing goes down in one turn.
Basically, yeah. That's gonna be our race Pokemon in like Black and White or Black and White 2.
We're gonna be going for either a Darumaka or a Sandile.
Yeah, I was gonna say or a Crocodile. Those would both be really good. Oh wait, no, actually, I know who I want to go for in Black and White.
You don't want to say?
Huh? No, I don't want to say. I want to keep it a surprise. Because I want to get it and have you be like, oh shit.
You're gonna steal Simisear from you, dick.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Okay, I think that was a good. Yeah, we're about 2 hours. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good for an episode.
I like this one. It was a pretty wide variety of topics.
Fun too. Yeah, we hit a lot of bases. We got pretty real, but you know what I'm tempted to do now? I want to see if either my roommate has Double Dash or if I can find it on like, because I really want to play Mario Kart Double Dash and just complete the fuck out of it. Like, I've never even played it. I didn't grow up with it, but I saw like Scott the Waz video on it, and I was like, man, this sounds like really fun and really cool. Like they really just went like ham with the unique ideas. So I'm gonna check Amazon or eBay or something for Mario Kart Double Dash.
Well, I mean, it's a GameCube game.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like Thousand Year Door was like $80. I think we talked about this last time too. We were
Yeah.
like, it's still selling for full price. I feel like if Nintendo knew that, they would definitely be like, oh wow, people really like this game. Like if Doug Bowser did a Google search for Paper Mario Thousand Year Door and just saw
Yeah.
what it was selling for, because normally older games are at least like $20 off or something. But like I've noticed that with like Pokemon games too. Like even like Heart Gold Soul Silver, like we were talking about, those still sell for full price.
Yeah, it's because they're really sought
is
after, and
nuts.
also they were only released with the Poke Walker. They never released by
yeah.
themselves as standalone.
That is true, and I guess you're paying more for only the game, or like. Do you remember that experiment that was done, and they found that like the Pokewalker was one of the most accurate pedometers ever?
Yes,
That's so
I
funny.
remember that. That's awesome.
I got really sad when I was a kid because I used the Pokewalker to put my Mareep in it, and I couldn't figure out how to get it out, and I started crying because I was like 11, I think. I was like, I can't get it back because I had already like leveled it up to the rest of my team, and I didn't want to have to like go back and get another one. But I figured it out eventually that you had to click like receive or something like that. I don't remember. But I also my first playthrough of Soul Silver, I only used Pokemon I got from the Pokewalker. I had like a Steelix and an Electrode and a Poliwhirl or a Poliwrath. It was pretty fun.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, it was a neat gimmick. And I also used Meganium. That was like the only other exception. Okay, I think we're gonna call it now. I'm getting like, okay, we're
Yeah.
gonna end it. Oh, also, yeah, I was just reminded. I wanted to say that before. Just tell that short little story. All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. This will be out weekly now. I promise. I'm
Yeah,
not
we
gonna
swear.
slack off. Well, I swear I have to edit it, but this one I don't think I'll be editing anything in. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys next time. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell if you want to be updated on future episodes. Be sure to like the video if you guys enjoyed the podcast, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.